Scotch bonnet pepper, fresh scallions, thyme, ginger, and garlic. The key ingredients to a great jerk marinade. 0% sugar and low in sodium. You want to try it? Trick Jerk Marinade gives your meats and vegetables authentic Jamaican jerk flavor. The spices are directly from Jamaica. Spices like jerk seasoning, allspice, Scotch bonnet pepper, fresh scallions, thyme, ginger, and garlic. The key ingredients to a great jerk marinade. 0% sugar and low in sodium. You want to try it?
Of 18 Jamaican herbs and spices, add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Trick Nick Jerk Barbecue Sauce.
I am sure sports. You know me there, I'm coast to coast representing. I mean, I say this is righteous representing for Omar. You don't know, come get your sports over here from near and far. Boy. Me say I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. If me not sure, that me not say it. Know who score, that me not say it. Never know no game play, that me not say it. If me never see no game, me no know who play. For your sports news, better come over here so. For your soccer news, then come over here so. If you don't love sports, still come over here so. For the day done, you a go love over here so.
So when it comes on to behavior concerning football, Jamaica is decent. I am sure that if we can get all of these things done, set in place by the end of April, it gives us enough time before the World Cup campaign. Not afraid of no Brazil, no Argentina with these crapper players. We are good enough. Remember to like, subscribe, share. Listen, comment, let me know what your thoughts are. All right, greetings and welcome to I Am Sure Sports. This is Manning's Man. Yeah, man, and I hope you're doing well. I am your host today. Yeah, and we're going to have a very good show. We have a very good one that is lined up, planned out, organized for you. It's going to be very interesting as we cover some facts and some legal matters concerning the Jamaica Football Federation. But you know, we could not start the show without giving you some details of the EPL. Yes, very interesting scorelines today in the EPL. I did, people, speak to you and talk to you about some of the results, and they have come to fruition. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Yeah, but before we get into our video, into our discussion, first let me thank all the persons who are watching in right now. I know it's a Sunday afternoon and you may be diving into your oxtail and rice and peas, but nonetheless, you know, we're glad for your ears. You can listen while you eat. Or does listening affect your eating? I hope not. Greetings to Travis Spessa. See you in the chat, my friend. Out west, because you know the west is always best. Big up Travis Spessa. All the way out there in Westmoreland. Big up yourself and bless up, man. Yeah, all the persons who are in the States, United States of America, in other places in the Caribbean and in England, welcome. Greetings and salutation to all our subscribers. We want to say a big thank you to you. You continue to help our platform to grow, and we are so grateful for your love and your support. Keep hitting the like button on our videos. That is how it grows our subscription, right? And you can encourage someone else. Maybe there are other persons in your household who has a smartphone. You just ask them to subscribe to the channel, right? Let's see if we can get to 1,700. Big up yourself, Clayton Drummond. Yeah, man. Bless up. Enough respect. Yeah. As I was about to come on stream, I heard that one of my cousin passed away in a motor vehicle accident. And so, just condolences all over. I haven't gotten all the details. I just heard, and I scheduled the video, so it was kind of very hard to not do the video given that sad news. And so, very rough time for the family. But, he's my cousin, and, just want to use the opportunity to encourage you that when you traverse the streets, just be mindful of your speed and don't drive for yourself. Drive with others in mind and seek to protect other persons as you drive. All right. So really want to encourage you to do that so we can, protect each other as we drive, and we keep each other safe. Really think that is important, especially in these times. As you have seen in the thumbnail and in the description of this video, we'll be having Omar Rogers. Some of you know him as Neo Sovereign on the Coaches Desk platform and some other YouTube platforms. He'll be in here speaking to us about some things that he has done some research on concerning the Reggae Boyz and Jamaica's football. But again, before we get into that, let me just big up our sponsors, Trick Nick Catering. You saw, the ad, and here's the truth. Trick Nick is a Jamaican-owned company that operates right now in Canada. All right, they use spices and herbs from Jamaica to make all their products, and so they ship worldwide. So you can get like a jerk marinade and your jerk sauce and all of those things you need for your jerk chicken. Now, when you go to Tricknick Catering, if you use the code when you go to Tricknick, if you use the code I am sure sports 001, you get 25% on all their products. Now, it may look like it's a lot for the shipping, but when you really get into it, when you spend a certain amount, the shipping really amounts to nothing. So check them out. If you like jerk chicken, this is the place to shop, right? So great business they are running there, and I want to big up the Jamaican businessmen and women who are making a mark all over the world and sticking true to home, buying Jamaican products. So that's Trick Nick, right? Check them out. www.tricknick.ca. All right, so you can check out your website and see what is going on there. Yeah, man. Thanks to all the good wishes, the condolences to the family. Really appreciate that. Coach Karumi, good to see you. Jerry Miller. People, if you don't know him, you need to check out Jerry Miller's football analysis platform. Listen, I don't know if there's anyone else in Jamaica who does the kind of work that he does in terms of analyzing the sport of football locally. You need to check out. This guy is good. He just doesn't like to come on screen or on streams. I don't know why, but I'm always, excited about the kind of detailed work that he does in providing information. So check that out and give him some love and support. Big up Ali Green as well. All right, so let's just look at what happened in the EPL today. Mikel Antonio, let's start with, the better game. What say you? Let's start with the better game, which is West Ham. Yes, West Ham versus Tottenham Hotspur. That was a London derby. And that game ended in a 1-0 victory for West Ham. Mikel Antonio scored in the 72nd minute, I believe, to give them the lead. I did tell people that in this game, Mikel Antonio, he was going to score. All right. The other London team, they lost 2-1 to Leicester. That is Brentford. They were defeated 2-1, and Ivan Toney seemed to be on a prolonged goal-scoring drought. He hasn't scored in a while. Yearly Tillemans that Liverpool are seeking to purchase. Very good box-to-box midfielder. He scored. And then James Maddison, the man who was supposed to be headed to Arsenal, finally finding back some form, and he scored for Leicester City. All right. So those were the games that were played today. No other games were played. And we can give it a Saturday game. Oh, no. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I forgot. Yeah, those were the games. Yeah, those were the games that were played today. So, yeah. Yeah, man. So Leicester City 2, Brentford 1, West Ham 1, Tottenham 0. I mean, yeah. Let me pinch. I must have been dreaming or sleeping. There was a third game today. And I see Ryan LFC in the building. Big up. There was a third game today. Drastic, big up as well. Thanks for joining in. There was a third game today. There was. Was it really a game? Our games were played today. I don't know. Like I am still in shock and disbelief as to what happened today at Old Trafford. The most startling thing is that in 60 minutes, they showed a picture outside of the stadium with thousands and thousands and thousands of fans leaving to go at them yard. What kind of fans are these, Manchester? Oh, did I say Manchester? What kind of fans are these? They leave when their fans need their team need them the most. They left the stadium. They left the stadium before the game was finished. Liverpool, Mo Salah, decimated, dismantled, discombobulated the Red Devils. Five goals to nil. And then they turned it into a training session. Like Klopp spoke to his team and said, please do not score anymore. I don't want the coach to get fired. I want him for the second leg at Anfield. So don't give them 8, because if they do that, they're going to fire him. And I want him for the second leg in Anfield. And Liverpool, who I think could have scored 5 more if they wanted, like stopped playing and got a good training session in for their League Cup game on Wednesday. This is, I'm not a Manchester United fan, mark you, but this is probably the worst performance I've seen from a Manchester United team in a long while. And it's not the coach's fault alone. Big up Sir Holmes in the building. Huh? The team just was not up to it. What has happened to the player who they call world class, Bruno Bruno Fernandes? People, I tell you, sometimes you have a good team, don't bring certain players in it. Cristiano Ronaldo is a world class player. Look who is here, people. Cristiano Ronaldo is a world-class player. However, in this Manchester United team presently, he's messing up Bruno Fernandes' game, I believe. Or the coach is not able to play them in a way that he gets the best out of Bruno Fernandes. Big up Coach Benzi from the coach's desk. The man turn up. All right, this is a bold Manchester United fan. At least he's here, because many of them will not be joining any streams today. Right? But the players need to take some responsibility. Harry Maguire was atrocious. The man gets turned so easily. The coach has nothing to do with that. Harry Maguire, he gets turned too easily. I think the addition of Cristiano Ronaldo has affected the chemistry of this Manchester United team going forward. And it's not that he's not a good player. He's a world-class player. But he seems to affect Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes' form, class, and play has declined. I see Lloyd saying it got to be me. Why my team's losing? All my teams: Lakers, Man U, Dolphins, Reggae Boys, and West Indies. Look at the moment. We need good coaches. Coach Minzy, there's a question for you. There's a question for you. The question is, if you were able to eat your dinner. Hey, I don't know. But they're going to bounce back. I don't think the coach should be fired though. I don't think today's performance had anything to do with the coach. The truth is that the only change the coach could have made is started Pogba. And Pogba came on and Pogba took a red card that he didn't have to. He didn't have to fly in. And many people curse and beat Fred, but Fred was their best player today, in my opinion. Big up that champion top price. So I don't know. I don't think it was a coach's fault. I think Harry Maguire he wasn't up to it today. He looked very poor. The midfield of Manchester United was very poor. Cristiano Ronaldo wasn't posing a major threat, right? See somebody posting that Manchester United played like Jamaica versus Panama. Did they look like Jamaica? Never offered anything. Karumi is saying that it was the coach's fault. I don't think so. I think the players need to take some responsibility. It was poor from the players, man. To be fair to the coach, the players never turned up. This is a big game. This is a big game. Players have to turn up. Players have to turn up. Players have to turn up. And they just did not turn up for this game. Right? But if you ask me, like, I'm not necessarily well, I am not a Manchester United fan now, so I don't seek to explain their philosophy, their tactics and stuff. I kind of stick to my Arsenal. You understand me? And I take my beating. I don't see people like Fresh God. I don't see the Manchester United fans. I don't see Bala Carr. I don't know. What happened? Oh, look at Fresh God the moment I call his name. The moment I say Fresh God, and I have not seen Bala Carr. Come on, Manchester United fans. Show your faces. You're big and better than this. You're a big team. A big team. Come on, man. Show your faces. Say something. Come on. You're in Manchester. There's only one Manchester. Right? Yeah, yes, I'll agree. The wagon broke down. Listen, Coach Karubi, all Manchester had to do was to sit deep and play on the counter. The coach, the players need to take some responsibility, I believe. You understand me? The defense has, this is editor Inch F3, I think that is, says defense has no system. Chelsea had that problem under Lampard. When Tuchel came in, that changed. Okay. Carty! Well, on the Carty, big baller from off the farm. You heard about that angry. Why the manager needs, why people like to fire managers? Corner Shop TV, big up. What was the coach static today? Coach Minzy, Balakar, and Vibes Entertainment. Explain to Coach Karumi what Coach Karumi, because I don't analyze Manchester United. I analyze my ninth place team, Arsenal, right now. We are on 14 points Ask me about Arsenal. Ask me about Arsenal. Arsenal missing the road. Because when Arsenal lose, the man them beat me bad. I'm not beating them though. I'm not beating them. I'm asking them to show their faces and stop hiding. Ryan LFC is here. The Liverpool fans are here. We are the Manchester United fans. I only count 4. Come on, hit the like button, people. All right, big up Pioneer. So go easy on them. Yes, coach Karumi. Ryan LSC, put it. Coach Karumi, when we analyze Manchester United football game, we not analyze not a Manchester United. We not analyze. Coach Minzy going to have a show later at the coach's desk where he's going to analyze it. So go over there. 5-1. The man them get 1 box in it, 1 right hand. 1 box in them face. Bow! 5 fingerprint out. 1 Salah. 2 Salah. 3 Salah. 1 Navigator. 1 Diego Jota. 5 box. Bow! Man, them never even had a shot at goal. Never had a shot at goal. The players were not in the game. Of course, the coach told them to sit. That's why the coach played the 2 holding midfielder and never started Pogba. The players were just not in the game. Do not blame the coach alone. The players never stepped up. Bruno Fernandes did nothing on the field. Watch the goal. The where think they passed the ball into Salah. Navigator. He did not track back. He wasn't helping. Luke Shaw. Players need to take responsibility sometime. Coach makes some mistake, but the players need to take. Bruno Fernandes was not tracking back. So they were always outnumbered. Always outnumbered. Remember, they already had Greenwood. They had Ronaldo. And they had Rashford. So that means Bruno Fernandes have to be tracking back. But he was playing so high. Coach Karubi, what do you think about that? How I analyze that? That was a big problem because a couple of the goals were scored because Bruno Fernandes was not tracking back. Though the coach need to take some blame, the players need to carry out their responsibility. No tactics. He talked about courage. We're losing and 20 minutes. And when the man, them gone 3, he might try get up and try whisper. Why man like DVB and Pogba can start over Fred. What happened to Sancho? But listen, none of you would have blamed the coach for not starting Sancho. I was on a channel on Sports Frenzy and I was saying start Sancho and they were saying no, Sancho is not in any form. So he should not start. Yeah, what is here to analyze? There's nothing to analyze. Man, they're not playing nothing, man. They're saying the coach is at fault, nobody else. His useless statics showed up once again. Aye, boy. Yeah, there you go, Omar Turner. We have to be honest, brother. These men, they were not tracking back. They were not tracking back. That was the problem. You cannot play Liverpool and your wide players don't come back and help your defenders. They were killing Luke Shaw with double teams and triple teams. Watch it. Because the forwards and the midfielder, they were not tracking back. Well, and the coach can't change everybody. Players need to take some responsibility, man. Fresh God, watch the game. I'm telling you, Bruno, stop tracking back when Navigator play the ball across the Salah. I'm telling you. Hindsight is 2020, you know. You see all who we want to start, you know, wrong starting team. You know, we need to write down the starting team before the game start. That is the thing. Because at the end of the day, you know, we can always say that it is the wrong starting team when the game finish. Yeah. Yeah, Coach Minzy, Coach Minzy, I'm gonna show a shot at you, Coach Minzy. Him say from last night, some man start ball, all a blame shrimp pasta. We say shrimp pasta or impasta. But congratulations to Liverpool. Honestly, people, we have to give credit where credit is due. Liverpool played well. They deserve the win. They played a very good game. You have to give them credit for that. Yeah, Manchester United could have looked better, but on the form that Liverpool is in, even the most ardent Manchester United fan would have anticipated a Liverpool victory, right? Maybe not by this margin, but most of us would have anticipated Liverpool winning the game. People, come on, hit the like button. We are about to get into the major part of our discussion. So please hit the like button. Hit the like button, please. We have 22 likes on the video. We have 40 persons. Persons on the stream right now. So just hit the like button. Just X and bam, hit the like button and you come back to the show. We have, like I said, a guest will be joining us. You understand me? Later to discuss some other things concerning the legal aspect of Jamaica's Reggae Boyz and the JFF, looking at some of the things that we may not know just from the surface. So we're going to get into that. But also today, so the first 30 minutes, we're just talking about the Premier League game. Big up to Mikel Antonio again for scoring. Scored a brilliant goal. Chelsea had a very good victory over Norwich. Watford surprised Everton. Arsenal with a very good performance this weekend as well. Ethan Pinnock didn't get to watch the game, but many persons said he looked well. So good to see the Reggae Boyz playing. I hope that with some of the defeat that Norwich is having, that this will probably encourage young wingback Max Aaron to probably seek out playing for Jamaica, because I don't think that he will be getting in the English team or the England team based on those performances by his club. Yeah, man. Big up Eddie Guna from Sports Down the Middle. Yeah, man. Did a show with them recently. People, you need to check it out. Very good show. They run a very good channel over there. Yes, Blair Tergat also scored today, and he has been scoring. So I hope that he will get a look in the team. Some persons believe that he hasn't performed well for Jamaica, but he keeps scoring the goals in the league. Yeah, man. Mikel Antonio really did well today. Yeah, man. Ethan pick up an injury and come off at halftime. Wow. All right, so there you go. Not good news. I didn't know that Ethan Pinnock was injured and he had to be taken off. Whoa. Bless up also Tevin Campbell. What? Hold on, people. No. We're the Liverpool fan. I need to talk to this man. Read this. Liverpool is inferior to us in all aspects. This is what I can't bother with some of the Manchester fans and with. How could a man put this here? Our management can't get enough from the players because our players aren't that bad. You really believe that Liverpool is inferior? Yeah. You really believe that? You really believe that Liverpool is inferior to Manchester United? This must be a joke. This must be a joke. Liverpool won Champions League recently, man. Getting into semifinals and stuff. Come on, man. They're better than that, man. Yeah, Hector was also on the bench for Fulham today, according to Peso. Maybe I really typed that wrong. Fresh God, what happened to you, Fresh God? Wallet, man, wallet, though. You understand me? Yep. But Mikel Antonio doing well. And yeah, man, I see Eddie Guna letting you know that he has a interview with Speed that's going to be up on the channel over Sports Down the Middle. You can check that out. Listen, big up all the vloggers. The Formula, you understand me, at the Formula Sports as well. You have Sports Down the Middle. You know, Coach Minzy will be doing a stream later looking at the Premier League. No, we're waiting on Neo. Neo will be on shortly, and then we're going to get into that. This is the preamble. The first 30 minutes we wanted to talk a little bit of Premier League, and then the second 30 minutes we're going to step, because we are there now. We're going to get into so this is a what you call now a break in transmission as we prepare for the second 30 minutes. Let's take a word from our sponsors, and you go and hit the like button in the meantime.
Trick Jerk Marinade gives your meats and vegetables authentic Jamaican jerk flavor. The spices are directly from Jamaica. Spices like jerk seasoning, allspice, Scotch bonnet pepper, fresh scallions, thyme, ginger, and garlic. The key ingredients to a great jerk marinade. 0% sugar and low in sodium. You want to try it?
Yeah, there you go, people. So check out Trick. Remember, a Jamaican owned and operated company operating right now in Brampton, Ontario, Canada, where they use Jamaican spice and herbs to make all their jerk products. All you have to do is go to www.tricknick.ca to get 25% discount on all their products. And they have a very interesting way of how they ship stuff worldwide that doesn't cost you a whole lot. So if you're a cook, you need this stuff. If you are a chef, you need this stuff. If you can't cook, you need to get them so you can give to the person. Yeah, there you go, Jarvis, because I know you're over there in Canada. Try them, man. Jarvis, you know the person who's living in St. Anne as well. So you need to check them out and show them some love and some support. Yeah, man. Yep. So bless up. All right. So the second part of the show, listen, I want to I've had the privilege of talking to some of our former players over the last couple of weeks, and we have several more interviews coming up with them in this week. All right. And so what I want to do is to go back to those interviews and look at some of the interesting stuff that came up for this 30-minute segment of the show. And you in the comment section, what did you hear from Lenny Hyde, Dean Sewell, Paul Teagat Davis, Hector Wright, Roger Creed, that you did not know, right? That you did not know, that you learned something listening to them speaking about what happened in the past. If you put that comment in the comment section, I'll put it up on screen. So let me start with Hector Wright, right? Let me give you some of the things I learned listening to Hector Wright. Now, some persons have miscommunicated this or misrepresented him, all right? But here's what he said. He's the first Jamaican to have scored in the Azteca against Mexico. He also played in Finland, and that is where he developed his range of passing. He also won the Da Costa Cup at Herbert Morrison, playing against Rossi's High School back in the day, and was included in the national team as a teenager and was a regular fixture in the national team in his teen years. And I think that is tremendous in terms of his accomplishment. So he won at schoolboy level, he won at the Premier League level, and he also won the gold, the Shell Cup with Jamaica. Then he was part of the campaign that led us to the World Cup in the early stages. So some of those things I never knew. I never knew that he even played football in Finland. All right, so big up to Mr. Hector Wright. Then we heard from Paul Teagat Davis, who had a very stellar career, who, again, he represented the national team in his teenage years and was a regular fixture for the time he was here. Then he had a successful stint over there in Israel, where Peter Cargill, the late Peter Cargill, also joined him, and some other players from Jamaica also came over into Israel. He left when the first Iraq war started. And he said when he left there, he never really came back with anything because of how he had to leave in a rush and in a haste because of all of that and the bombs that he heard. Being a professional footballer, he came back to Jamaica. And here's what happened when he came back to Jamaica. He became an instrumental part of the national team. He was also part of the winning Shell Cup team, and a team that went to the Gold Cup for the first time representing Jamaica, where they finished third place, tying with Costa Rica. Amen. I see editor in F3 saying Hector Wright is a big player. Did an article on him back in the day when he had gone to Finland. There you go. Whoa. This, you must be a senior editor-in-chief. Okay. Editor-in-chief. You must be a senior editor because, yeah, man, you need to tell us about that, because one of the things that we have been trying to do is to get these things. Where is that article? We need to have an archive where we can get that article, editor-in-chief, because a lot of the younger players don't know some of these things. And so if you can get us, yeah, look at this. People, look at this. Look at this. Whoa. In that article, here's editor-in-chief saying that Hector Wright talked about how he had to get used to the 6 months of darkness and 6 months of sunlight. Can you imagine a youngster? Because he was pretty young when this happened. Because he actually came back, I believe, from Finland and played the Costa Cup. Can you believe that? So he went here in his teenage years because he came back and played the Costa Cup. Amazing story about Paul Teagat Davis. Until Luton Shelton recently, Paul Teagat Davis has the most goals for Jamaica. Luton Shelton, the late Luton Shelton passed him. But Luton Shelton played way more games for Jamaica than Paul Teagat Davis. He was a prolific goal scorer. I remember he also played midfield when he went to Israel because he wanted to get in the team. Amazing story. Told you about his journey, how he went to Clarendon College, and that while he was there, the Veer team that defeated him with Andrew Elder McBailey and Linval Pala Wilson. And so he never won the Costa Cup because he was at Clarendon and Veer was the dominant team at that time. Then we also heard from Linval Pala Wilson, who told us how, in his whole national story is that in the national team, he shared with us that they used to get $250 a week for their salaries. He also told us that, sometimes the food was so, the quantity and the amount and the taste was so bad that they had to depend on a soup man who was selling outside the National Stadium. And what the soup man would do is oftentimes give them a half a pot of the soup. Half a pot of soup. Yeah? To kind of sustain them in those times. Right? He also represented Reno. Told you about his beginnings at Sir Clifford Campbell, and that a man named Bones in Westmoreland saw him, and Creston Boxhill started a team called Westland that he was a part of, and then he went to school in Clarendon. He came back and he started at Reno, where he had a successful career and he got into the national team. Then we heard from Roderick Reed. They say he's one of the skillest thing in terms of football that has come out of Tivoli. If you know Trayvon Reed, that plays for Kingston College, he was in the Tivoli setup. Yeah. He's his nephew. And so Roderick Reed said he was a part of that 1988 team with Mark Hagler Wilson and Hector Wright, who won the first international football tournament for Jamaica at the National Stadium. They played against Trinidad and Tobago. And here's the truth. That Trinidad and Tobago team had Dwight York. And Mark Hagler Wilson was given the duty of marking Dwight York. Whoa. People, hit the like button. Hit the like button. Big up J. Ross. Big up Owen. Yeah, man, thanks for joining. Yeah, man, big up. We really want to big up the former players. We are not stuck in the past, but we have to give credit where credit is due and still big up the players now. But I agree with I saw with Owen saying that they were way better than the youths now. I think the talent pool back then was in my opinion was way better, but the players now have way more opportunities. And that is why now we can't depend on local players, because the talent pool is not like back in the day. We need players who are developed elsewhere now in the pool, because the player development, I think, was it Teacher Hyde as well who said this? Teacher Hyde said this, that we're not playing enough football. In fact, most of them said it. T-God said it. Hector Wright said it. Roderick Reed said it. Paulo Wilson said it. We're not playing enough football now. Because back in the days, these guys play football right throughout the year. And the more they play, is the better they got. The more they play, is the better they got. And I think that is part of the issue right now. Oh, yes, Mark Chambers said Dwight York never hard to mark because he never had any skill, just off the ball movement. But isn't that why he's hard to mark? Because he has good off the ball movement. A player that is skilled, oftentimes it's easy to mark, than a player that is moving. The hardest player to mark is a player that is always moving. It's easy to mark a player who is depending on their skill, because they're oftentimes stationary. So I think when you listen to Dean Sewell as well, had a great career, not just in Jamaica, but he played in college overseas. He played in college in the States. He'd come back to Jamaica to play for Constant Spring, did well. And even today, watch this, even today, many people still believe that Dean Sewell is one of the best right backs in Jamaica. Unfortunately, he did not get enough time in the national setup. But even in that World Cup team, many people believe that he should have been the starting right back. There you go. See, another scratch off when he's saying that Dwight York was a beast. Mark Chambers. So there you go. Ali Green, I also agree with you that people have more distraction now. I think one of the past players also said that a lot of these kids now, I think it was Lenny Hyde, Teacher Hyde, saying that they are in their rooms and in their houses playing games. I mean, he spoke about playing football on the street. He was a street baller. A street baller. Yeah, man. Listen, a player who is skilled that doesn't move is very easy to mark. Because what you want to do is get the ball before them. Yes, if they get it, they may beat you, but it's easy to mark them. Who is hard to mark is a player who is always moving. Where is Coach Jerry and Coach Karumi? Come on, any coach in the place, you can agree with me, please. Please, Coach Minzy, where are the coaches? The hardest player to mark is a player who is moving non-stop. Moving non-stop. I'm telling you, always moving, always moving, always moving, always moving. Then we heard from Lenny Teacher Hyde. What did you learn from the interviews? Here's what I learned from Lenny Teacher Hyde. I did not know that during his time, he never used to play in shin guards. The man them used to wrap what you call bandage or bandage we call it in football around their shin and pull up their socks. That's what they used to use. So he said this. So you had to be skilled and you had to be tough. Because in those times, listen what the man said. Hey, this thing, people, when I heard this, I said, whoa, whoa, whoa. The games used to have sometimes one official. and men were bossing what you call bossing tackles. And so these guys were playing without shin guards, so they had to be extremely, extremely skillful and tough as players. I think some of that toughness in the players is no longer in the game. That kind of roughness that would help them to develop the skill is not in the game. I'm talking about the local talent. So the talent pool in Jamaica, though we probably have more players playing in the USL and MLS and in Europe, the talent pool to me is less and of a lower quality right now. Let me Rajan Kana is saying that the reason South American and African players are in demand is they are mostly street ballers. You need to be skilled and tough for real. Need to be skilled, to evade players. So I think that is why the Roger Reed and the Leonard Teacher Hyde and the Alan Skill Cole, these guys were so good. All right? See, I get in the next, yes. If you're a coach, just tell me, because, I mean, Dwight York may not have been skilled, but his ball movement would have put many people in problems. One of the things that Lenny Teacher Hyde said that was very interesting to me is something that I missed. Many people said that if they were so good, why didn't they qualify for the World Cup? Do you know that during that time he said it? They never even used to play games. It is nations would come and play, or a club like a Crystal Palace would come and play a practice game, or a Brazilian club and would play a practice game. So a couple in his time and in Alan Skill Cole time, a couple of times Jamaica did not participate in World Cup qualifying football. I'm telling you that. Listen to that. Because they believe if they had, and they weren't trying to be dismissive of like Coach Carl Brown and Jeffrey Maxwell, but they were saying that if they had better things in place, they believe that the talent pool that they had, in fact, this is what then the teacher had said, that he believed in his time, and he called several names, they had good enough talent to go to the World Cup and qualify. He did say they would have won the World Cup. I don't think so still. Teacher Hyde, I don't think Jamaica would have won the World Cup. But I do agree with you that we would have gone to the World Cup and done well. What say you people? Anybody in here who was in that time, do you really believe that Jamaica could have gone and won the World Cup? I don't think so. I don't think so. Yep. Yeah. Big up. Management and receipt management. You get Alan Skill Cole, Claudia Hodges. I can't reveal all my secrets. If I tell you that, you know what will have to happen. Have to keep it a secret right now. But next week, we have some good stuff in store in terms of interview, right? Yeah, I think they would have done well, but I don't know that would have won the World Cup, right? Keep sending in the comments, people. What did you, I mean, I haven't heard much from you, Chris Dias and Dwight York. Let me know what did you hear in the interview that was interesting or important for you. Roger Creed also shared with us that he was one of the first players to score against Mexico in the Gold Cup, right? So some very, very, very interesting facts laid out by these players, right? And so they ask again why people say that if they were so good, why they weren't playing overseas, the opportunities were not there. Because people don't realize that back in these times, not many people were leaving to go and play football in Europe. In the Caribbean, they probably are like a Dwight York. Not a whole lot. Not a lot of Americans. So not even a lot of Brazilians. A lot of the players were locally born and bred. It is in the 90s that you started seeing influx of people coming in from other nations and stuff. Did somebody say interview Paul Young? Don't worry about it. I can't tell you my secret if I did that. You know what will have to happen. I can't tell you. You have to just wait to see what is going to happen next week. All right? You have to wait. People just wait, no man. Just wait. All right? Just wait. 74 people on the stream, 46 like. People, come on, man. Don't let me have to stop doing this good thing to tell you to hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button, man. Show your love for the content. Show your love for the channel. And hit the like button. We want to end this video with at least 100 likes. All right? Minimum. Right? So I think that's one of the things that really stood out to me is that if these guys never even had the opportunity to play in World Cup qualifiers. All right? Let me get this one again from Raja Kanai. Man, look at this. There are always tough and skillful players here. Many coaches here stifle them. There are so many players who are scared. I think, I don't know, maybe the dynamics of football is changing, because I find that when kids start holding on to the ball nowadays, they are told to pass it. So they don't get to develop the skills, and they don't get to be creative. And that's part of part of the problem. I think that's it. We don't allow the kids to express themselves. So coaching is important. There you go. See, someone, see, Claudia Hodges is saying it, that her granduncle told her about the Jamaican golden era. They were very good. I think they would have made World Cup. Yeah, because sometimes when we say, if these players were so good, why they didn't? Because they did not play. The golden generation, they really didn't get an opportunity to play. And that was part of the problem. That was a major problem. Maybe if they had the opportunity to play qualifiers with a good system and good coach, they would have probably gotten there. You never know, because listen, when you hear about people like Teacher Hyde, and listen, the man said, listen to these people, in the National Stadium, over 21,000 people watching a schoolboy football game. You hear that? 21,000. Yeah, I like this foolproof projects. And again, and also a lot of they just never had the opportunity to play overseas. Maybe clubs weren't looking for players that much. I think a couple of them said they went to England to try out our play. But is there anything that you heard from any of the players that I may not have mentioned that you'd like to, to mention? Is there anything? Yeah, they were very good. Even the latter part of that era, they were very good. Better than most that we have now. Yeah. Even Pepsi back in the day was well sponsored. The standard isn't the same. So, all right. So here's part of the issue, because a lot of people will say that the standard has improved. Has the standard really improved? I think the infrastructural development of the sport has gotten better, but I don't think the standard of the players' play has improved. Because remember, when you watch the Premier League football in those days, it was cool, kids. It was like, I remember, all right, let's go back to, you remember the Charlie Simi team with, how many of you remember this team? Kevin, Pele Wilson, I think Troy Garnett was on it. Everton Bunzi, Carnell Chinsu, Eugene Barnes, all of these guys. These guys came out of Charlie Smith straight into the national team. Same thing with the Norman Manley team that had the Pete brothers and what they call it, Dutty Man and all of those guys. When you check the Rossies team with Michael Graham and Mark Agler Wilson and Aaron Lawrence, these guys came out. When you go back to the Cornwall College teams, the Clarendon College teams, when these teams came out of schoolboy football, they went right into the Premier League, and the team that dominated schoolboy football, the club that they go to, normally have like 3-4 years of dominance. It's so difficult now for our youngsters to get even in a Premier League team coming out of high school. I see Richard Stewart saying that the older generation always say the better than the present. If Maggie didn't go to Europe and see his flaw, he will be saying he was the best 20-year-old down the road. I don't buy it one bit. All right. I think what Richard is saying, that these players now are not really better. Yeah. And Owen, yeah, man, thanks for the comment, which is saying, hell no, these players now are not as good as the past players. Same thing. Claudia Hodges is saying that technology has improved, but not the skill of the players, the technical ability, right? Next comment from Owen, even the physical development of the youth. I watched a Manning Cup and was thinking I was watching Pepsi U13. Okay. John Barnes told people in England about track and field organizers was far more professional. I think that's what that comment mean. Yeah, time changed, Decoland. I think time has changed. So I am saying that the players have more now to be better, but they aren't. And part of the thing was identify that is happening because they're not playing enough football. Like these guys, remember Lenny Hyde said this, that he played Major League for Santos and Premier League for Tivoli at the same time. At the same time, he was playing for 2 clubs. So he would play a game on Wednesday, and then he would play a game on Sunday. So Wednesday in Major League, Sunday in Premier League. Patrick Riley, who is also a coach, believe he coaches up in the hills, probably at York Castle. Right, Coach Riley? Tell me, if it's you, saying that the standard has gone down. Yeah. Butler saw Maggie's fault. Let's zoom in on Nandelo. If he was granted the opportunity that Leon Bailey got via Craig Butler endeavors, can you imagine what he would have been? Yep, that is true. All right. That is so true. All right. People, this is very important. People, you're not going to believe this. Hold on. I can't let you hear. Just hold on, people. Hold on. This is going to be amazing.
Of 18 Jamaican herbs and spices, add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Trick Nick Jerk Barbecue Sauce.
People, sorry about that. But you're going to love this. Come on, clap your hands, everybody, right? So what just happened is that you know that we have this legend series, right? So a legend just called. A legend just called. Remember, we have Neo coming on, right? A legend just called and said, can I come on in 10 minutes and talk to you right now? All right. Question is, people, what say you? If you say yes, we say yes. If you say no, we wait until next week. Right? Because we can do it too, and we can wait until next week, people. Or we can do it right now. Because I said, listen, watching like what I see happening right now. I see somebody call my name. Can I come on? What say you, people? Give me 10 answers. I can't tell you which legend. You have to just tell. I can't tell you. I can't tell you which legend. I can't tell you which legend. You have to make up your mind if you want the person or not. All right, let me count. One, one, two, three, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. All right, need one more. I think that is 10. All right, so we're going to line up the link right now. I can't tell you. It's just going to be a surprise. The person just happened to be watching. Somebody asking if it is. Hey, you have to hit the like button, Hit the like button. Hit the like button, people. Hit the like button. This is going to be a good one. Listen, this is going to be a good one. This is going to be a good one. Right? This is going to be a really, really, really good one. I think you're going to like this because this person is excellent. I mean, I don't want to give you too many hints, but they are highly, 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 highly qualified. I am telling you, highly qualified to operate from technical director in football to coach, etc., etc. I am telling you. Yep. Yeah. You this is going to, once he comes on, it's going to fascinate you. But yeah, man, so let's get back to our discussion. So yeah, I mean, I think much more is available to the footballers now, but at the end of the day, I don't think they are playing enough football right now. Yeah, the Reggae girls play a game today against Costa Rica. I see Richard Stewart says if Anandalo and Walter Boyd was that good, why did Simoes have to recruit English Jamaican born players? Football around the world has improved leaps and bounds, and our players have not. That's why we look awful. Richard Stewart, all right. I would love to pin the link and you come on and challenge me in this, Richard. Why you think Rene Simoes went for for English based players? Did Simoes actually go for them? Is that what happened, Richard Stewart? Did Simoes actually recruit Dean Burton and Richard Stewart? And we didn't say football has not improved around the world. And we don't look awful, Richard Stewart. Come on, man. We don't look when I said who look awful? Is it, does the team look bad because the players are not good or because they are not being coached properly? Ma, Sir Cranky, man is man, yes. Man is, yes, she did. I'm missing the first part. Maybe I'm missing a. Oh, you mean man is money? Yes. You mean yes? Rene Simoes did. Rene Simoes did not recruit Dean Burton. People, Rene Simoes did not recruit Dean Burton. Dean Burton came to Jamaica because he and the other two guys were friends. And they asked if he could train with the side. So I'm not sure, Cranky. I don't want to, because I know you normally have your thoughts well together. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Yeah. So I'm not sure if that's what you're saying, but we can get to it. All right. So let me tell you one of the reasons why, and we're gonna have them on the program. That's why I don't want to get into the story. Yeah, man. Ali P, let me just say this. I don't want to get into the stories, but there is more to the stories than what you have heard. And you need to hear from the players. And when you hear from the players, you'll probably get a perspective to make it look different. Because even Dean Burton admitted that Walter Boyd is a better player than him. And do we remember that Anandilo was one of those players in the Jamaica team who played every position for Jamaica? There you go, sir. He came on vacation and the coach asked Burton if he was Jamaican because he was with them in the stadium, not even training when people were invited there. Yeah, but Sir Cranky, so what Richard was saying earlier was that if Anandilo, so I was responding to that, if Anandilo and Walter Boyd was so good, why did Simoes go and recruit other players? So I am saying, is that what Simoes actually did? Anandilo and Walter Boyd, you're not good, so I'm going to get Fitzroy Simpson and Paul Hall because he didn't send for Dean Burton. We're talking about the qualifiers. If when you get to the World Cup, you need to remember that Walter Boyd had several disciplinary issues by that time. See, editorial, who was an editor back in the day, brought in the foreign players for professionalism they brought to the squad. So initially, even Simoes said it, he wanted the team to, the professionalism. Okay, all right. So, hey, here's the thing now, all right? Bam. All right, I'm going to pin the link, because I think sometimes when we talk, let me pin the link before our guests come on. I'm going to pin the link, people. If you want to come onto the stream, you just come on, turn on your camera, so we can see you, and you come on and we talk a little bit, and then when the guest comes on, then you know that we'll jump over to the guest. So that's the link to join if you want to come on to the stream and discuss your point, so we can have clarity, because I don't want to misunderstand and misrepresent anyone, and I don't want that to happen to me either. So I'm going to pin it right there, and then until our guest comes on, you can jump onto the stream. You can jump onto the stream, and then you have to help me out, because once the guest is on, then I will have to end the discussion and take on the guest. But let me say it this way. Walter Boyd's issue wasn't that the players recruited were better than him. And if anyone believe, no man. All right, so if I said that he never recruited any English player, that's not true. Players were recruited. I was responding to to Richard Cranky. So if that's what I said, my apologies. Players were recruited. Players were recruited. I mean, Frank Sinclair was recruited, whether we think he's good or not. Marcus Gill was recruited. Fitzroy Simpson was recruited. Powell was recruited, because those were eras we were lacking in. But when it came to Walter Boyd and Ananda Lowe, the issue with them, they weren't, recruitment didn't take place because they weren't considered better quality than even the players that came in. But there are disciplinary issues, and those were the factors that contributed primarily. At least there was a perceived disciplinary matter with them and the present coach. And so if I said that, my apologies. But earlier somebody asked about Ali P. I think they're asking about Ali Rose. Let me see if I can find that comment. If you're asking about that if you're asking about Ali Rose is presently on the bench in a game that is being played between Queens and Brooklyn. At that field of some Pennsylvania place right there. But there's a over 40 game that is being played right now. He is on the bench. Jeremy and you is also playing. I don't know where Cranky is in this. I thought Cranky would have gone to watch the game. Coach, Jerry said, we have moved away from our culture, and that is why we're struggling with the ball. Look at the African team who go to the World Cup. They keep their style, flair, skill, pace. Exactly. Well said. 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 That's part of the problem. That's part of the problem. That's part of the problem, right? Walter Boyd was a fabulous, however, both him and many other Jamaican players lack discipline, not perceived. I will call it perceived, because you know what is funny, people? The players have a different story. That is the thing, you know. The players have a different story than what was being said. So who are we going to believe? All right? What if I told you that I'm not going to tell you until we do interviews. I'm not going to tell you. Which team is the old team, Sir Cranky? Queens or Brooklyn? Management, the team wasn't doing good when Fitzroy Simpson and Paul, Dion, Burton came in. Everything changed. The team looked way better with those three players. Fitzroy Simpson working his socks. We're not disputing that. All right. So we're gone far from what was said. So I'm going to find what I was responding to, and then maybe we can keep it there. All right. Because I think sometimes when as a discussion goes on, it goes away from where it originally started, and we lose the essence of the person's response. So I'm going to try and find. So originally, this is what I responded to, because I disagree with this statement. So my response is to this. If Ananda Lowe was that good, Ananda Lowe and Walter Boyd was that good, why did Samoas have to recruit English players, English-born players, right? No, I'm asking Richard to come on, because Richard is gone to English-born players, and nobody was having any discussion, but he always seemed to want to bring up English-born versus Jamaican-born, right? Then he goes on and says, football around the world has improved leaps and bounds, and our players have not. So he's saying that our players have not improved. And he's saying that is why. And what he's saying is that the players in Jamaica have not improved. That is why we look awful. This is what I am responding to. Number one, I am saying to you that the players were not recruited because Ananda Lowe and Walter Boyd were not good players. That's number one. Number two, to say that football has improved and our players have not is not true. Leon Bailey is a Jamaican. So this statement to me seemed like something else. This is what I'm responding to, right? So Chris Smith, I agree with you. Cranky, I agree with you. This is a statement that I agree with. I disagree with. Because the recruitment was not because Anandilo and Walter Boyd were not good. It was more disciplinary reasons. And to say that football around the world has improved and Jamaica has not improved and we look awful, this is not a true statement. Dean Burton is a Jamaican. Andre Blake is a Jamaican. So I don't take these kind of generalized description. Why, if our players are not good, you're saying Mikel Antonio is not good. In one context, we'll talk about them being English born, but when we're describing our football, we some people, when they are going to speak about our football, here's what they do. They separate the players born in England and they say Jamaicans are not good. This is the unfairness in the discussion. We get to a point where when we are going to say players are not good, we separate them. They are no longer all Jamaicans. We separate them at that point. Come on, man. Walter Boyd was a very, very good footballer. Big footballer, I will say. Other factors affected him. So when you come on and you make statements, just like how people challenge me when I say stuff, you have to be willing to be challenged and prove what you're saying. So I've dropped the link, Richard. Come on. All right, so I'm going to take this one. Taji, I'm going to answer your question, right? Manins, we got 6 from Mexico with Walter Boyd and Lowe. We would never make that World Cup without. Lord of mercy. You see the man gone on a different thing? I did not say we would go to the World Cup without them. I did not say we did not need them. I did not say that they were not important. What I disagree with is when someone say the reason why René Simoes went and get Paul Hall was because Anandilo and Walter Boyd were not good players. Listen, I do not come on platform to have a discussion about English born and Jamaica. I try not to do it. Because to me, it's a garbage discussion that has gone on for too long unnecessarily. All right. So we have Cranky who is going to jump on and challenge me on your behalf. So let me invite him on. Sir Cranky, come on, challenge me. What did I say wrong?
Well, you gotta be very careful with statements that you make. When you make when you make wait, hold up. So, can you hear me, man?
Yeah, man, we're hearing you. People are.
So when you make these very broad statements, you gotta be very careful because you're talking to a lot of people. You said you made a statement, emphatic statement. He didn't recruit English players, and I agree. The initial batch, we know the story about Burton on the Jamaica on vacation, going up to the training, and then decided to come over, but players followed, as you rightly say. Marcus Gale, Powell, all those players come over, right? Sinclair, who even mentioned it the other day in a program on Sky Sports, he was mentioning being recruited by Jamaica to come and play, and he didn't know anything about Jamaica, frankly, even though his family's from Jamaica, because he's not like Antonio, who came and visited a lot, right? So he didn't have the same regular exposure. But I just want to correct you, because when you made a statement, I know what you meant, but the statement didn't have any caveats to it.
Okay.
So you gotta be careful with those statements. You made this the broad statement, brush statement. I'm just correcting to make
Thank
sure
you
we're on
for
the
the
same page.
But what do you think? I mean, like my position though, and I thank you for the clarity, is that they were not selected because when you're going to identify 2 players and say the reason why he did it is because, or if these 2 players were good, why would he go and get other players? Because Leon Bailey is good, but you could still get Demari Gray.
Yeah, and he didn't go because the players weren't good.
Yeah,
I mean,
getting
Demari,
Demari,
what you have, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Getting
That's a broad-based
Demari
statement also.
Yeah,
that's a broad-based statement also, saying I get the players they weren't good. By the way, management, I'm very impressed. I'm very impressed that you know about my team or my.
How you not at the game?
I'm taking a break. No, I gotta cut. The president texts me to come to the game, but I'm taking a break. I'm busy. I do some work still. I'm back to work. So some flexibility.
The man him call me.
You knowing that what's his name is playing today. I'm impressed.
Jermaine, you and Ali. So you bench Ali Rose?
No. I have nothing to do with it. I don't bench big ballers.
So when I get Ali Rose on the program, I'm going to tell him that it was Cranky who sent a text message for him to sit at the bench.
Don't know me as Cranky, and if you tell him you won't know who I am. I have a ball name. I told you I have a ball name. No, Ali I play him. Ali a big baller, man.
Well, I was told by the person at the ground that he's not able to move around a whole lot.
Well, no, he's not as mobile as he used to be. In fact, he's very mobile. But when the ball goes to his foot, it's hard to get it from him. No, very, very good player. Very, very good player.
It was kind of strange because they were calling to ask me if I come into the game. They said, Bridget, I'm in Jamaica. Watch over 40 games.
But you're right, Manning's man, about the lack of discipline is a detriment to Jamaican players who may have the skills. Some of them don't have the fundamentals now. They're technically very gifted, but in terms of how you're playing a team concept, how you engage professionally, that's lacking a lot of times. So a lot of these players come up from Jamaica and come and play in the leagues that I used to help manage, and the disciplines are just atrocious. Hard to deal with.
But how do you compare their talent with like probably players from other nations? That I don't know if you have other Caribbean players who are in your team or Americans who are in your team. How do you say the talent of the Jamaican players match up with those of other Caribbean or North American talent pool? Like,
as I said, the technical skill set is there, but there are certain fundamentals which you don't learn or repeat enough. So you can beat a man, right? You have the speed, you can get by a player, you have good control, but how you move off the ball, how you get into space, how you're disciplined to play your position, sometimes they don't exhibit that. And coaches don't want that, right? They want people who can fit into their system. Answer your question directly. No, it compares really, really well, actually. But the talent has dropped off somewhat, man, because you probably noticed before in the 90s and the early 2000s to play over by the park not far from me, when people like Dwight York would come on vacation and come visit us, all the players who played like for Trinidad, some to get pro contract to come and play in the league or come visit us. The talent was very comparable to talent anywhere then, but maybe because players now have they have more options, so they don't really come here as much as they used to. They go to different places, right? They go play USL. They go play second and third division overseas. Yeah. So it's spread out some more. So I don't see them as much as I used to, and I'm not around the ball as I used to.
Oh yeah.
But the talent is good. The talent level is good. Because if you know this league, all the players who play for like Grenada, they used to bring up all their professional
national team, right? Yeah.
Come play in the league we used to run, right, with a Caribbean Cup here. Yeah. So Jamaica would bring up players who played, for like Boys Town and all those teams, or Trinidad would play a players who played in first division. Haiti would do the same thing. So they all would come and play in Brooklyn, frankly. Quite a bit, but that has changed over time. But no, the Jamaica players have a lot of skill set. Have the talent.
How did you find it dealing with them though, Cranky? Like
difficult. Manning's man, difficult. No, I'm telling you, difficult. Like as a people, we have attitude, right?
Yeah.
But the attitude multiplies when we are more acclaimed or when we accomplish something, we're good at something. And for footballers who are privileged and who are treated differently, especially ones who are very good from their young, it's worsened. So and sometimes, as you know, in football in Jamaica, you play like Manning Cup, you play D Cup, and other Cup wise. You're given. I mean, if you think about Dago, who died, you're a Dago Gardner.
Dago Gardner, yeah.
Dago was technically as good as anybody who play football. Dago was ridiculously good in terms of all the attributes: movement of the ball, skill set, free kick. But Dago didn't have the discipline to do what he needs to do in a professional environment to operate. And Dago was a good person in general. He just didn't have the discipline.
You know what is funny, Cranky? I think it is the same problem but let me just take this from Real Baller asking if he used to be around the team in Brooklyn back in the days. I think he used to be a part of it.
Yeah, we had a lot of teams. We had Buffalo, we had Rovers, we had a bunch of teams that played in our league. And all the players like Bingy Blair and others come and play my team when they come up from Jamaica. Yeah. Right, when they come to Jamaica, when they come up to play, they come for the summer, they come and play with our team here in Brooklyn or in the Bronx, and then go back home. So we have a lot of those footballers who come and play with us.
Yeah, and I think this is where you and I we are in agreement that I think one of the factors that has held back our football and is holding back even this present team is not if some of these players have talent. It is the discipline and, like I said, the other aspect of the game outside of the technical, being able to control and pass or kick the ball well. Like I think Bowser can kick the ball well and he has some good moves, but does he have that mental discipline and tactical awareness on the field? Or what about his attitude? I think what we find is that the attitude, like I look at this player, Harland, like just how he carries himself on the football field. I could be wrong because I'm here and he's all the way in Dortmund, but you see a person who is more concerned with the team and the functioning of the team than his own personal achievement and accomplishment. So his attitude depicts that. I find that with a lot of Jamaican footballers coming through a high school system, it's almost like they're at a place where I'm a star now.
Yeah, as a star, you
Treat
get,
me.
yeah, but you get privilege, you get that treatment when you're young and you're very good, right? It's not unique to football in Jamaica. It's normal in life. If you're a brilliant person, you get special treatment. If you're a brilliant basketball player, a brilliant NFL football player, you get special treatment. The question is, how do you manage it? Certain people
Yeah.
grow up in certain environments, are taught that discipline is an imperative. So you have to be disciplined no matter how good you are. And they carry that throughout. In some areas, you don't get that necessarily guidance, and therefore, exhibit that when you go through your life. And especially when you're playing a sport that you're privileged
Yeah.
to play and you're good at, it exacerbates it because what happens is you're indulged. When you're indulged, it only worsens the situation. It doesn't help.
Yeah, see Claudia giving you a heel up. So Cranky was a man back in the day, father time, the great
Bless
undefeated
Claudia.
one.
Bless Claudia.
Yeah, right. And I like this, Jairus. And I think this is where now you need some sort of academy to instill certain basic attributes and discipline. Like I can tell you people that the hardest people, most of the persons overseas, if you go to the leagues, like when they play them out in Florida and you're playing for Miramar and whatever you're playing for Burrard County, the attitude of the Jamaican players. Unfortunately, I don't like to bring up these things, but unfortunately, it is worse than most other uh, players from other nations. I can't say they have the same issues with people from Trinidad. If there is, I haven't seen it. I can't say they have the same issue with people from, like when you see the Spanish team play. I don't see some of the issues that we see when the Jamaican players gather to play. Like they will come and you give them a pair of socks and they don't have it for the next game. Or
Oh,
it's
that's not
dirty.
our management. We have history and stories, right? I mean, it's pervasive. It's bad. Look, I don't. I think, as someone alluded to here, which is it needs to be no matter what your environment you grew up in. If you're in a sports environment, and just in life in general, you'll be taught about how to engage, interact, operate, right? Because if you don't,
Yeah.
it carries on throughout your life. So it's not only going to be in the football field; it's going to be how you engage with others, right? And I think
Yeah.
that manifests itself a lot in the football environment because, as you're rightly saying, I'm telling you, you're very informed. If you go to Miramar, Fort Lauderdale, if you go to Orlando, wherever you go Connecticut, Philadelphia, we used to go play ball. You're
Here you
playing New
go.
York. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. It doesn't change. And you're right. The other nations, but I mean, Grenada does have some people who get hostile sometimes. But if there's a range from 1 to 10, we're like 12, and everybody's 5 and below. I'm serious. Everybody's 5 and below.
No,
We're 12.
it is true because I just saw one that took place out in Delaware with some guys, and I mean they were playing against a team from some other place. I'm not going to call the player name, but the group of Jamaican, the other guys were meeting together, warming. You know what the Jamaicans were doing? Everyone doing their own thing. Who not drinking something strong is
Yeah,
puffing something strong
yeah. That's normal.
before
That's normal.
before the game, which I say like, and I think some of these things are what is affecting our football, and unfortunately, it hampers their development because when they go overseas, so you go into a club, and after a while, they will because of how disciplined those systems are, they will fall in line. But the
Yeah,
truth is, it 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 takes a while for them to get to that level because it wasn't developed at 15 and 14. Like, old people would say you can't train a tree when it is mature. You have to almost like
You have to
cut
nurture
it.
it.
You have
Yeah,
to
you have to
nurture
nurture
it.
it.
And I think I like the idea that Jaros have. Maybe we need to have some of these players in some values and attitude development from early on, if we want them to be professional footballer, because that undisciplined or indisciplined nature, if I want to say it, is going to creep into the game.
It
And these
does
are some of
creep
the
into the
problems
game.
in the national team right now. You can tell that part of the issue is this discipline issue. It's not just footballing problem, it is discipline issue that plays itself out in how the team plays.
Yeah, I think we believe that if we are overt with our behavior, it justifies. If we are overt with your behavior, like some people are very subtle with their behavior, right? They're very conniving. They use guile, whatever they need to do to get their way. We believe that we have to show you. Like I said, I'm from Missouri, the show me state. I have to show you who I am and how bad I am, which doesn't make any sense a lot of times, actually. Because if you don't have the discipline, like for once, I was talking to the New York Red Bulls, because we used to try to get players to go play with them, right? And they would say, "Where the players from?" I say, "Jamaica," and they're like, "No, no, 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 no." They would say, "No, no, 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 we're not going there," because they have had bad experiences. And so the question, even if you have the skill set, if you don't conduct yourself a certain way, you probably won't get the same visibility, the same exposure. People don't want to engage with you because they don't want to deal with the attitude. Here's another thing too. We do it across life, man. I was in a store the other day. I went to buy something I'm a vegetarian now. In fact, one of the players.
Since last week.
No, before last week. Now, I stopped eating meat years ago, but I was eating fish, but I stopped eating fish also. If you eat live things, it can be good for you. But anyway, not to digress. So when you store to buy something,
if you eat fish, you're not a vegetarian.
Yeah, pescatarian. Pescatarian.
Okay. See, people are learning new things.
You're not true vegetarian. So I went to the store to buy something, and the lady in there was a Jamaican lady. So I said, do you have any? I forgot what I asked her for. And she's like, swim me out. And I'm sitting there thinking, so I came to the store to buy something. I'm a customer. I just asked if you don't have anything else, and you're barking at me. So why would I want to come back to your store? So the way you conduct yourself, the way you engage is very important, because I'm spending my money. I'm not spending my money with you and go to another store. Why are you so upset? Even if you have a bad day, don't take it out on your customer. That's how we engage a lot. I'm not saying all of us engage that way, but a lot of us do.
Many of us, yeah.
Yeah. We have attitudes which are not warranted. Yeah. People want to be nice. Just treat people they want to be treated. That's my philosophy.
Yeah. Blue Mountain Entertainment Group says, I have history of that. I played for a certain Jamaican team in Michigan Premier League, and it was the same. We are the most indisciplined. So and then here's Ishmael King saying, so true about us. I played and coached a team in Baltimore, and I always preferred playing with the Trinis.
You gotta start from early. You have to start from early. Good
and
evening.
then I like what Claudia is saying. She's saying that the indiscipline starts in the high school, where the players are treated like little kings, and they had way too much privileges in high school. El Madrid, what say you?
Yeah, man, big up Cranky.
Bless up.
I have several bones to pick at you still, but you know what I mean?
Me?
Cranky.
Okay.
Yeah,
he doesn't eat meat, so you can't pick any bone. You have to pick some greens.
That's the point, I'll be the one picking the bones at him. But yeah, what's her name? Claudia,
yeah.
Yeah, what she said a while ago, I kind of agree and disagree, because it's like, it's not just footballers in high schools that get that privilege, and you don't necessarily see that behavior move over in all sports disciplines. You understand? So it's not the privilege that they get when they are the little kings that cause them to behave like that. So that I can't see how that is the reason. Is it me? So it's something else.
Before you move on, I'm gonna give you an example, an extreme example. You ever hear the story about Karen nowadays, the Karens of the world? You ever hear those stories about what the Karens, who the Karens are?
Yeah.
Why do the Karens behave that way? Isn't that the privilege that the Karens have that allow them to behave that way?
Well, yes.
Okay. Trust me, it's privilege.
You know, but what I'm
Privilege
saying
give you
though is,
entitlement.
and that's
Privilege give
not
you entitlement.
false. That's
Huh?
not false. But the thing is, that's very right. You know, what I mean, what you just said. But try to see the point I made. I brought in other sporting disciplines with other students who were little kings and queens that didn't carry over that supposed attitude caused by the privilege that they are granted. So for football, I don't
There will
think
always
it is the
exception for the
privilege.
rule.
No, so no, then all the other sporting disciplines manage to have more success by giving privilege to these little kings and queens. Why football so unlucky? So I don't think it's that privilege. I think it's something else.
So across the world, it depends on what sport you're talking about, right? Think
Football,
about
remember,
tennis. Think about like tennis,
football.
for example.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
a privileged sport played by privileged people in a lot of instances. It's unique when you have the people like the Venus, the Williams, the sister playing the sport. It's not the norm, right? And do really well at it.
she was just like,
Basketball in the US is the same concept. Football is
mhm.
the same concept. No matter what persuasion they come from, they're privileged and they act that way. Now, this is not a question I'm asking. I'm telling you, been around them, engaged them, privileged people, even in academia, privileged people, people who are traders, people who are business people. When they're very privileged, there's attitude that come with it. But with a lot
So
of those people, they can manage the attitude in a way where it's not destructive for them.
was
Yeah,
and
and let me
Footballers
my
let me
don't
say
do
point.
this.
that.
Real Madrid. Let me say this because Claudia have a big problem. So there's a kid that get privileges, but his background is disciplined. There's a kid that get privileges that comes from a background that is littered
Awesome.
with indiscipline.
See, so it's not the privilege, and sometimes the privilege
No,
flip the
no, no,
script
no.
for
It
that
worked two ways.
indiscipline.
That
Yeah,
that is just one. I'm just giving it because
yeah.
here she's saying that she had five of them in her classroom. So
Mm-hmm.
she's saying to you, she saw it upfront and personal. So you can't dispute what she's saying. But
Of
I'm
course
saying
I
that
can. Of course.
yeah, but no, that could be just an exception. The case that you're mentioning could just be an exception to it.
Come on, there are several exceptions.
So here's the thing. Here's
Because
the thing.
because I agree with her, I don't say no, her point don't make no sense. But I'm saying in many other cases, it's not the privilege that caused it. As you just stated, you have two flip sides, you have two sides. You have the ones who were disciplined and got privilege, and they know how to manage it. Even Cranky said it. And then you have the ones who are indisciplined from the background that they're from, and the privilege, they don't know how to handle it. But also you have the ones who are indisciplined, and the privilege changed them. The privilege kind of open up their eyes and say, "Oh my, I can have this if I'm like this, or if I do." So you have many different sides to the story. So it's not just the privilege that causing the man them to behave bad.
No, no.
Something
So there's
else.
two things, right? Wait, there's two things. We talked about the Jamaican having an attitude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Who we are as a people, we have that attitude. It gets exacerbated by the privilege. Maybe that's what we should have said, right? Jamaicans in general, I'm a generalized
Can't
statement.
handle, can't
True.
Not
handle.
all
True.
Jamaicans. We can say it's not
Fully
all, but
agree.
Jamaicans in general have attitude, and the attitude serve us well in some certain situations. In a lot of situations, serve us well. It allows us to excel, allow us to do well,
And
because we
discern.
believe that we are special people, and we always trying to push and maximize our potential, right? But it also can be detrimental to you,
True.
especially in certain environments. And we see
True.
that a lot, not only in sports, but in other aspects of life,
True.
right? How we engage, for example, it does cause us consternation and cause problem for us. So what we have to do is how we manage what we have innate to our being, manage it well to allow us to grow and develop, but also not to be detrimental to us. And for our footballers, who sometimes come from challenging environment, it's not a good thing. In some instances, I decided not to even be involved with certain individuals because I don't want to deal with it in discipline. And I've
Yeah.
experienced it throughout my time playing football or throughout my time engaging with people in my communities.
All right,
It's
look
very
at this,
difficult to
Cranky.
deal with.
Cranky, look at this. Look at this, right? It took me 10 years, 15 years to realize something that I did wrong when I was 15. All right, look at this. It was so simple what I needed to do. All I needed to do was listen to the coach, stop dribbling on the field, pass the ball the amount of times that I was given. I was given 4 touches, then 3. But I thought that coach was fighting me. I thought he didn't want to see me dribbling and scoring and all sort of madness in my head. And it took me up until 2019 to figure that out. I'm not blaming anybody for that. I'm trying to use that point to show you that
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you do have a point,
it is really rough. because they don't know what they're doing. They don't
No,
know.
but
We don't know what we're doing some of the times. I'm
yeah,
telling you,
but
we
the
don't.
truth is, it is helping. That's why we're saying that maybe in an academic system you could teach these guys some values and attitude at a certain age, because once they get, it's hard to teach a man certain things at 18, 19, and 20. When he has
Let
been
me
doing
let me
it.
show you. Let
So
me
that,
show
look,
you.
look
Let me
at this.
show you.
Look at Tajay Brown. I mean, saying that if 10 players go overseas from out of schoolboy football, most of them will probably will end up out there because they have quote unquote no behavior. I have somebody else who said, as a Fortis man, I can say first and that I have seen where track stars and footballers get away with near murder before they, which is
It's true.
listen.
It's true.
I'm telling you, I have
It's
seen
true.
these things with
It's
my
true.
own eyes,
No,
but
I am a person who have gotten privilege. I just don't want to talk about myself. So me not ignore that. That's a true one. I'm saying.
so yes, and
It's
did you
true.
getting privileges affect your overall behavior?
I I think what happened was the same situation we are talking about now. You are from a disciplined background, and then now all of a sudden you get a madman coach or a shout out for you, or deal with you like you just met him the first time you meet him. You were the person who the players looked up to, and he just come in to meet all of you, and him a go disrespect the two best players them on the team for no reason. So, and then that just followed over into a whole lot of bad behavior from him that I am not used to because me no grow so. So it all flipped, everything flipped. And some of the church say, hey, there are so many factors in a youth behaving bad or looking like him behaving bad or some don't want to hear nothing from the coach after that because he don't have no behavior and he rub me wrong altogether. And then it take me still 15 years to concede, say, yeah, me still do something wrong. But at the time, may I bring him back in a time, he doesn't know, he cannot manage youths. You see that? We need to manage. You remember when Cranky said manage the youth's behavior? He cannot do it. So he escalated the situation and provoked the youth. That is what happened in the situation, you know. So I
Okay.
mean, me fully scarred now, and while me scarred, me I figure out the situation, or it could have been better for me to work with a person who doesn't know how to manage youths. So youths are go through people and know how to manage them. That is a severe problem.
That's why I think that mentoring are important. Okay? If you have somebody who you look up to, or provide the guidance and give a direction, you respect the person, you will listen to them. And
Yeah.
in your coach's case, if he came, sometimes coaches come in and they want to pick out the best players and use them as the example to get everyone else on board. But you have to do man management. You deal with people, right? Because everybody's not the same. Some people are more sensitive than others. But think about people as individual. You're managing a collective, and make sure you understand who can take the hard message and who you have to, you know, be less forceful with. It's
Yeah, that's
important
true.
because some
It's
people
very
are extremely sensitive and they're going to receive it well.
What this brings us to is that should in a development of our sports in the schooling system, how important is it then to have persons who can deal with these issues with the players from this age? Because generally in Jamaica, you probably have one guidance counselor, maybe a female guidance counselor, even in an all boys school, right?
Here's the thing. Here's
And
the
in that
thing.
all boys school, that female guidance counselor has to offer counseling to 800 boys. How
There's a
you understand me?
cranky in every
And that
school,
is,
you know.
huh?
There's a cranky and a you and a Neville Bell in every school who loves football, you know. Every school in Jamaica, there's one of you guys who love football, who can understand this. There is one of you guys. Then if you just make that approach to the system, they're just not taking that approach.
Yeah, I see. I
That
see.
is the simple approach.
Yep, but do the schools a lot of schools have the resources in the states. I know that a lot of the schools have a sports psychologist, especially in high school sports. They have several who works with the teams that you'd
Mhm.
see these issues. The problem we are saying is that one of the all this comes down to is that one of the reasons why some of our top sports athletes have not excelled is because of this discipline. It's not because of the talent. It's because
It's
of the
true.
discipline.
It's
And
true.
and you see it creep. The problem with our national team is not talent. We could look on paper and say we have some talent. We have a talented group of players. It is
It's
discipline.
discipline. It's
It's a
discipline.
discipline issue. And I would say that going back to even Joby McAnuff and Garrett McCleary, we had disciplinary issues. We have always had disciplinary issues. And unless you have a personality like a Rene Simoes, who have a large staff working with him to help manage some of those things. And I don't think we have had that. And until we can put that kind of thing in place or start the discipline issue from earlier, we're going to keep having these
We'll keep
issues.
having it.
And
We'll keep having it.
we qualify more by luck or other teams faltering more than a strategic plan of the team doing well.
Man, this is not new, right? And we know this, so why don't we do better? That's the question.
God no, yeah, why? You know what I mean?
Because we
It's
keep
so
talking
easy.
about, we say this all the time, right? From back 20 plus years ago, we're saying the English players are in a more professional environment. They're disciplined, they have discipline, they adapt better, right? You don't see the English players when they come over having these major attitude. Like I see when I went to Orlando and watched Nicholson not get a free kick and him using all sort of words and losing his mind because he didn't get a free kick, which he wasn't supposed to take in the first place, right? You don't see people like Clemmer brushing off people. You don't see Gray and them brushing off people when they score a goal.
Hey,
We're supposed to be
hold
happy.
on.
And then
Hey,
people make
Missy,
excuses for you. I mean, it makes no
hey.
sense.
I true, you know, but I'm to Grant. You know, hear Grant too much time on the field.
No, but that is different. Grant
Grant provided
attitude.
direction.
Right.
Direction.
Yeah, and then there's two different things, because there is an approach where you have an aggressive approach towards your opponent, but you are respectful of your teammate, respectful of the coach, respectful of the system. You train hard and you work hard, and that is why I say I don't want to get, because they are going to give. All right, let me give you a hint. Right, one of the issue with one of the footballers that we see had no discipline during Simo's era. Here's what happened: the team meeting. And they say to him, listen, you need to do X, Y, and Z when you're not in camp. And he says, listen, this is not no autocratic thing. What I do outside of the camp is my business, right? Now, as long as I come to training and do what I'm supposed to do, I produce what I'm supposed to produce. What I do outside of the camp is no man's business.
Someone want to smoke weed, all right, mad thing.
All right, so watch this now. There's some truth to that, but in the context of a team, it cannot be.
They can't smoke no weed from.
So is that because that was labeled as being very indisciplined and disrespectful? So, but a player may feel like, because, for example, Cranky, if they say to Cranky, listen, you can't eat at let me call at Boston Market. You're not your company say you can't eat at Boston Market. That's one of those restaurants over there, right? Use that one. All right. And Cranky says, listen, but that have nothing to do with the work. When I come here, I do my 9 to 5, I do everything you ask of me. What do you have to do with what I do at Boston Market? But they say, listen, yeah, but what you do and Boston Market, though you may be playing well, there are other things that it affect with other persons in the company, so don't do there. All right. Now, how does indiscipline, come into all of that and still allowing the player to be who the player is supposed to be? I don't know if it doesn't make sense.
No. I mean, look,
I guess it depends. If whatever.
Let's hear from Cranky first, Madrid,
yeah.
and then.
So that's not so. Any company you work for, if that company have a good statute, will tell you that when you leave the company, you're still when you leave the company's premises, you're still an employee of the company. So what you do have implications for the company. So if you go out and go rob somebody, you're gonna say this person work at XYZ. So that implicates the company, even though it's not on company premises during company time. So, for example, in any sport, for example, if you play for the Los Angeles Lakers and you go and do something, you're going to say the Laker player LeBron James. They're not going to say LeBron James alone. There's an association that you also have to manage. So you have to be cognizant that, you know what I do outside of work time also have implications for the organization or the people who are in that environment. So you have to know how to comport yourself. So you can't just say, because I no longer playing in the team training is over. When I leave, I should be considerate of the team. Especially as a high-profile team. If it's a national team.
Sorry, Cranky. Lied is trying to reveal who the person is. Lied, don't do that. I don't want them to know who the person is. Lied. But reveal the secret. Yeah. But that is true, because in Senton there's a particular school, girls' school, that when school is finished, you can't go in certain places in the school uniform. Though school is finished. right? Because if you do that, then the school will impose disciplinary action, right? And many parents have a problem with it, because they are saying that, listen, but school is over. And what if the child, for example, you're not supposed to go in a fast food restaurant in your uniform? What if your mother works in Burger King and you say, listen, I want to go in there and sit down, and your mother give you a burger because she's not ready to leave? So there is, and exactly this is what the player actually said. No, he said this to Asimoes, who is Christian minded. If you try to play God in my life, no.
He is. He was actually. He was.
So that is what led to a lot of the problems, right? But go ahead, El Madrid, and then we talk about Mr. Porter's
Yeah,
comments.
but if I want have two duties, like for instance, be a hitman while he's a footballer, that's definitely conflict of interest. And if him transparent enough to make a coach know say him I want a hitman off while him now work for the national team, then the coach in a all jurisdiction fit tell him say, hey boss man, this go affect you. You probably end up dead. You probably end up kill one of the player them family member or something. Just some random points for round the point when I make. So it's a conflict of interest. Once it's a conflict of interest, we go taint the player or the reputation of the team. Then the coach can suggest to him, say, hey,
That
oops.
suggestion is different from demanding it. That's what I'm saying.
Well, yeah.
Look, I don't think it's really demand. It's basically just indicating to you what the expectations are, and you then need to understand that you need to, in order for you to be part of that organization, that association, you need to comport
Yeah.
yourself in a certain way.
So make a choice now. You
Yeah,
go
yeah, you
work
have a
with it
choice.
or not. You have a choice.
Exactly.
Right.
And in his case, Simonis was the coach, so you know how that works.
Yeah, so if you want to get picked, just do it right, fam. You might not say, yo, pray
Yeah,
to me.
but what I'm saying though, you know what is so funny in all of this? Because they said the player trained well, that when he was at the train, there was nothing that they would ask him to do in training that he would not do. His mannerism and his behavior in training was immaculate, but he wanted to do his own thing when he was not in training. And
All right,
I
what
think
if
that
you...
is where the professionalism,
Yeah.
like I think what affected like these two big players in Jamaica at the time was that they were used to, as long as I do what is expected of me when I'm here, when I'm over this side, they compartmentalize it. This is none of your business.
What if it was crack cocaine or methamphetamine? No. So they have to just realize and just do the right.
Yeah, but I mean,
No
does
buts,
the
man.
coach
No
have the
buts.
right to tell her not to go and party?
Bro, listen to me now, man.
I'm just asking.
He doesn't have a right to say don't do this or X. He can say expectation, sign the contract. Our expectation, these are core values, and this is what we stand for. This is the team. You represent the team outside of the team. So you stand for that? Yes. All right. No, you can't do certain things from if you get catch do certain things, you get suspension, you get fined, or you get expulsion, depending upon what you do. I just say go fam, you have to have I say go.
But
Yeah,
man
I
is man.
say
Not to
go.
change that. I'm gonna say this man is man, which is this,
Yeah.
which is this has been a very good weekend, by the way. I just want to say this, a very good weekend.
Yeah.
5 years.
Oh, yes.
We
Starting from
won.
Friday.
Ooh.
We won.
Starting
Yeah,
from Friday.
so we have the whole weekend to peruse what's transpiring, and basically smile to see Tottenham lose and see Manu. I don't know what Manu was doing today. I
I
think they
don't
played a
know,
game.
yo.
Yeah, I think they played a
Yeah.
game. But no, it was a pretty good weekend. So
Oh, you know what? And Claudia is very tricky. Claudia said Meadowbrook expelled 5 people. 5. 5.
the ones in her class.
5. 5 girls for behavior outside of school because they were in their uniform. Right? She was really talking about the game as well. She was, she used the 5 because she was also referencing the
Yes. She's cute. She's cute.
the Manchester United game. But Mr. Porter also shared
She's
earlier.
Rate big up herself, Claudia.
No, she wasn't doing that. I'm just giving her trouble.
No, she did it. She did it. It's the sign of life. 5.
Yeah. But Mr. Porter also indicated to us earlier that he had made some contact with a agent overseas who has really basically said that they have a host of Jamaican born players connected to Jamaica Here it is. Big up Cranky. I have made contact with an agent in England who represents a number of English-born Jamaicans who are interested in playing for Jamaica. And so I
So,
really, I hope that some of,
hey, Devon, bring all of them come. If
yeah.
you're born in Jamaica and you can't compete, sorry, it's up your game. It's all about can you compete? And if you can't
Cranky,
compete amongst us, then who are you gonna compete with? Or you gonna compete
cranky,
against? Yeah.
cranky. We think about Kemar Fisher last two game them.
You
Just in
mean
last two
Fish?
game them. Just
You
in
mean Onion
last two
Fisher?
game.
Onion Fisher?
Yeah, yeah. Just
No,
in
he
last
played
two.
well. Look. Here's my philosophy. If you play well,
So
you
that's what
get.
you want to beat Cranky on?
Wait.
No,
No.
no,
Fisher
no.
wasn't that. I beat Hector. I beat Fish. I beat you if you don't play well, and I give you accolades if you play well. So
All right.
Fisher played well, especially against Alfonso Davis. The first 20 minutes were a nightmare, and after that, he got into his own. Second game, he played well. He scored a brilliant goal. You got to give him credit. I am not one to say, look, it's just like my Arsenal team. I knock the like Shaw doesn't play well. I knock them, and if they play well, I give them the credit that they do. So it's not personal. It's just talking about how you're playing at a point in time, or how I view your ability overall,
All
right? So
right.
Fisher, I can't say I rate Fisher, but look, he's persevering, and if he keeps playing well, he should get the accolades that comes along with playing well. I don't rate Bosa that well because I think Bosa lack a lot of fundamentals when he plays football. But if he keeps scoring, he should play. That's what I view. Now, when people compare Bosa and Antonio and say he should play with Antonio, I'm like, what football are you watching? Now, Antonio lacks certain things, fundamentals too. But if you think about the overall player who bullies defenses, Bosa can't hold the ball up. Bosa can't. I'll give you an example, not to digress, man. I know I'm digressing all over the place here.
Yeah, man, not a
I
problem.
watch I watch something they played today. Tony. Now, Tony runs clumsily. He's all over the place when he runs. But the thing you realize about Tony is he's a brilliant passer, and you can't get the ball off him when he has the ball. Now, is he very fluid when he runs like a cement road? No, he's not. But he has the fundamentals down, even though he's not a pretty looking footballer, smooth flow, just go by a man. But if you look at the parts of his game, running down the channel, being able to pass the ball, holding the ball up, Boza needs to learn to do those things. Now, Boza may have been a star in Jamaica at 16, but when you're on the world stage, it's a whole different story. Whole different story.
Yeah,
When
there,
when I watch Shamar play for, because I personally I think I give myself this record. I don't know about the guys who watch the rematches or the replays of the matches, but I watch all of Shamar's matches. I watch all of Paris's matches. Not since he was in Europe, but since he has been in Copa. Watch all of his matches. So what I think I have over most people is that instead of just looking at the stats or look at some of the replays sometime or watch him when he come play for Jamaica, I have a more extensive view on him. And what I think I see that a lot of people are missing is the European coaches have European players to value, and they all value Shamar Nicholson more than how we value him here. And they talk about aspects of his game that they see lacking in some of the players that they have, some of the forwards that they have. They have the forwards, You see me? So I don't know why they would be saying that. If you see, personally, I think Shamar Nicholson playing for Jamaica affects his game because honestly, and even playing for Charleroi affects his game. The coach even spoke about it in an interview the other day. He said that they need to play more vertically and blah blah blah, and because his vertical runners are making the runs and the passes. Basically, that's what he's saying. But when I
yeah.
look at it, he's really saying Shamar Nicholson always a run in the right moment, and he keeps after checking his runs because the man them always a pass the ball left or right. I think if he was getting those balls many times, Shamar Nicholson free wide open can score. Yes,
All
they
right.
say he miss a lot, but trust me, this player is better than what is showing sometimes. I really believe so. I
All
really
right.
Okay.
believe so.
All right. Let me hear. We have Omar. People just saw Nia apologizing. He should have been here to go through some stuff for us, but he had some other engagement, so he's stuck in traffic. So let's see what will happen. Oh, there you go. So yeah, man, take care of your business, Nia. So please, we thank you for letting us know. and apologizing. Hope all things work out well. So you see, he has some unexpected family emergency.
Safe.
So yeah, man. So deal with your stuff, man. All right, we have a next Omar who is here though. Go ahead, Omar. What say you?
Well, good evening. How are you guys doing? Are you hearing me?
Yeah, man.
Yes,
Loud and
yes.
clear.
All right. Cranky,
Bless up.
keep up the good work. You have been doing a good job being host for many of these shows. That's nice. That's nice. I like that. Well, it starts from Manning's man, from the days of me watching the Costa Cup football, watching Aaron Lawrence, watching all of these guys. Just the same as you have been. I see all the things that you say. Now, when you look at it, we talk about Walter Boyd and Onandelo. Walter Boyd is a gifted player, and I state this categorically. Gifted. However, it's the same as indiscipline. This gentleman right alongside me, that is talking a while ago, not Cranky, but the other guy, is talking about that instance that it took him 15 years to find that out. Now, at the end of the day, it all comes down to accountability. Sometimes the parents aren't at home to teach the kids to be accountable and all of that. And sometimes the coach, they may rub you wrongly and may treat you somewhere and you feel some sort of way, you feel slighted. But that should not push you to feel that the coach is not doing something good for you. You know, at the end of the day, everybody, the coach is all there for everyone, and for everyone's success is also his success.
But
Most of
Cranky,
us,
oh, sorry,
sorry,
Omar, but yeah, man. Cranky made a very valid point earlier, right? Because I've seen even in the NBA, I've seen in the NFL, I've seen in track and field and in football globally, many players who had discipline issues. But we have to get people. We cannot have talent go to waste because we can't manage them. And I believe that maybe if proper systems were in place to manage like a Walter Boyd in his earlier years and the Anandalos and many probably other Jamaicans, in their development, then some of these things could have been dealt with. And I think like that's what Cranky has been alluding to, that there needs to be, because people are different. You're not going to get Christian believing footballers. Football is really sort of a hooligan, rough, hardcore kind of sport. So the people
Feisty.
play are going to come out of that kind of background and setting for the most part. You always have exception to every single rule. So there must be a way though that when you find exceptional talent that you create, especially for a country like Jamaica, where you're not going to find it. Leon Bailey is from Cassava Peace. The only difference with Leon Bailey probably and a Walter Boyd is that there was no Craig Butler. So we probably need to find more Craig Butler-like characters
Precisely.
to manage some of these talents. And I think that is what we want to focus on. What can we do? And Cranky asked earlier, we know this for how long? And we haven't done anything about it.
Here's the thing.
You check the footballers. You check the best footballers from Jamaica, where they come from. I mean, I don't want to, I'm not speaking about the families, people, but a lot of them come from garrison communities. Walter Boyd, the Anandelo, the Luton Shelton, Theodore Whitmore, Ricardo Fuller. All of these guys, they come from, they may have had stable families, but they come from these communities that are prone to certain kind of behaviors. So what are we doing as a people? Are the sporting bodies doing? Maybe what Jamaica needs to do is have like a sporting, like the Ministry of Sport could have a department that employs sporting psychologists, probably at least 2 in every parish, where people can go, people in sports who represent the national team from the junior level can have them to provide through GC. Yeah, maybe that's something that we need to look at, provide it as a course in our schools, so we have more people coming through the system who can do that and deploy them in the schools. as a part of the educational development of our student athletes. I don't know what. Let me take Cranky and then El Madrid and then to you, Omar.
Look, as a people, we're challenged as a people, just in general. So the question is, what can we do? Because anything you talk about in sports, is a reflection of life in general, society in general. Sports is just a synopsis, that's small part of society in general. That's how we operate. That's how we engage. That's how we do things. So we got to think about how we can improve ourselves as a people. And I'm all for any suggestions about, because sport athletes are emulated. Athletes are an example, whether they want to be or not. So if they set a good example, it may then trickle down to others who are around them and others who view them in the public domain in a lot of instances.
Yeah.
So we have to find a way look, a lot of it's about education, just in general, not just about discipline. If you're educated, you make better decisions. The more educated you are, the better decisions you make. Because you know what you do, Banningsman? You weigh risk, consequence. You rate, if I'm gonna do something, and it may not be the way I should be doing. What's the benefit and what's the risk? And is it worth taking that risk, right? And if you can't make those decisions, which is sort of basic, then you become challenged. So if I'm in a team, I'm going to get upset at the coach. I'm not going to play me if I get up coach. I'm going to weigh my benefit. I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to conform because I want to play. Some people don't think that way. They want to get out what they feel. They want to get out what comes natural to them. And they don't think about consequences. And there's always consequences for your action. How do you think people... Go ahead.
Because you touched a good point, I just wanted to interject. I don't want to stop you because, I wanted you to answer this and continue with your point. Like how some schools do it here, the top schools with the top results from CXCs, how they expel students who are not doing so well from grade 9 to make sure that they have the creme de la creme to sit the exams to have the top. You get what I mean? Top brass, right? Should we take that approach with football?
No, I think that's a very exclusionary way of operating in life in general. I think it's very elitist. I think it's very elitist to operate that way.
Okay.
I don't believe so. When I was growing up, they didn't have all high school. They had like secondary schools, which means you fail common entrance, your life is over basically. Unless your parents had resources to send you to some private school, your life is over. Now, it's not ridiculous that your life is over at 12, 13 years, 11, between 11 and 13. It's not ridiculous your life is over at 12 years old. That makes absolutely no, but it's a elitist system. Because people with resources are still going to get to go through the system, even if they fail or not. And it eliminates those who don't have resources, which is what
you see what I did with the question, though? Yeah. We're having that system here. It's here.
But the system is not fair one. Because the system is exclusionary. I don't believe in an exclusionary system.
We need to fix it. That's the big fix we need to make.
Yeah. Omar, what say you?
Well, I agree with Cranky on that. I don't see any reason for people expelling students at such a tender age and bringing that into the football system. That wouldn't work either, because some of the times the ones that you expel are the ones that are with the genuine skill. So you cannot do that. You have to look at it you have to approach it from a different standpoint and deal with it with a more professional, in the same breath, more professional but patient way, where you treat the kids with a level of professionalism, and once you see them start getting it, you raise the bar a little bit more. And once they start getting that sort of professionalism, you will see that the football game changes. Their approach to the football change and all of that. So I agree with Cranky with that. But going back to Shamar Nicholson, you guys may not have realized, when Shamar realized that Mikel Antonio is coming into play for Jamaica, guys, remember Shamar played Gold Cup. To me, he was a shell of himself. Although he scored one goal, he should have scored many more. And he missed a lot. But didn't you guys see where Shamar raised this game? He raised it because what? He's getting competition. And this is what bringing in the overseas English-based players will do to not only the local players, but the Jamaicans that are playing abroad. Because now they will see somebody is there to take what they want. And some of them will be angry. Remember, management, some of them will be angry, and some of them will not see through it. And it will take them 15 years to see it. But that's their fault, and they lose the train. They miss the train when it came their way.
So Omar, I'm gonna say this, Omar. I'm gonna say this, Omar, which is
Omar, we have to mute you here, Omar, because there's some bad static from your end whenever anyone else is speaking. So just listen.
So let me say this, which is sometimes in life, no matter how hard you train, much you try, you won't be as good as somebody else, right? So I don't think no matter how, here's my philosophy on that. So no matter how fast you want to run, you can't run as fast as Lane Thompson. So when Lane Thompson come in your team, you got to pick one runner. You could train as much as you want. She's gonna be a better runner than you. But sometimes you're right on this, which is it may be that you know what? If I'm gonna use Shelly and Elaine as examples, right? Say Shelly Ann is close to Elaine, and the delta between them, the small difference between them is how hard you train. Yeah, you may be able to make up that differential. But in some instances, like between Antonio and Shamar, can Shamar get to Antonio's level? Nothing is impossible. But right now, I don't think they're that close for Shamar to displace Antonio if he comes into the team. Now, if you're Shamar, you should be upset if you lose your place. Yeah. Because in anything in life we're doing, if you lose your place as something you love to do, somebody displaces you, of course you should be upset. But should you express that outwardly and be derogatory or not engage the person? That shouldn't be the way. You should be trying to wait. You say, you know what? I can't play instead of him. Maybe I can play with him. Because I know I can't displace him.
Yeah, I see. And that's a very good point, Cranky. Welcome to all the persons who are just joining. Ian Campbell, Andre Williams, Kingston, Six Pips, Shamika, Jackson, the moderator, Fresh God, and Jason, and the rest of you. I mean, doing a good job. Thank you. I think that's a very good point you just made, that it is going to challenge Shamar. Well, let me say it this way. It should challenge him to want to play better. But that doesn't mean, like, I don't, Leon Bailey is going to, let me use two other players because I don't want to make this. Leon Bailey is going to keep getting better. So Leon Bailey coming to play for Jamaica should challenge Junior Fleming because he's going to lose his game, to work harder. Will he get to Leon Bailey's position? I don't think so, because it's not that Leon Bailey has stopped growing or stopped learning. So as he gets closer, Leon Bailey is also getting further away. But it means that he should be looking better. And he should be upset that he's going to lose his game. You understand me? But just know that it's a part of it. It's a part of it.
One thing about management, the only place on the football field where the position is such where you can't displace the person or you can't get another a chance is the goalkeeper. Every other position, you have two positions. If you're right back in general, you know what? You may learn to play left back because you know what? You may be better than the left back, but the right back is much better than you. So you have multiple positions on the field, which if you're a winger like Bailey, there are two wings, there's left and right wing. The one position on the field, which is very difficult, it's goalkeeper. There's only one position on the field you can play goalkeeper. One person.
Watch out. Inadvertently, Manningsman did something a while ago, when he used just a small analogy. He wasn't paying attention to the age of Junior Flemings and Leon Bailey. I was paying attention to the age of Mikel Antonio and Shamar Nicholson. So when you did the analogy, I kept focus on the age as well. So the thing is, Bailey will be getting better according to age. Flemings should have already been better. So yes. No. I'm tracking there. Yes, man. I saw reasoning go. You inadvertently did this. So when time, yes, you're right, because Flemings stuck basically. That's his.
Yeah, but he could be a late bloomer. Yeah,
yes. Hold on. My reason for no, we not say Flemings cannot get better, but it's to the point of matching that analogy with what Cranky had said. Because is Shamar Nicholson 24?
Somewhere around.
Yes, he's 24.
So I mean, I think that he can get better. I don't think that he will go to a team like West Ham and get top goal scorer for the club. I don't think he will do that. I think he can have a good season at a top club where he scores 15 goals, maybe 16 goals. I think by age 26, 7, if he doesn't do that, I don't expect to see it ever. So
Yeah.
he has hope because there are clubs that are interested, and I knew this before they put it out on the internet. There are clubs that have faith in him and coaches. So we should have too. You know what I mean? We should have faith in him.
Yeah.
He have something cranky.
Yeah,
He
man.
have
I'm not saying
something.
it doesn't have something in it, but I'm just thinking about the attributes you need to play. But like I give you an example. Aubameyang who plays for Arsenal. I don't rate Aubameyang.
We don't
I think he's
rate
a great
it.
goal scorer. He can't play
Don't,
football.
don't rate Aubameyang.
Listen,
But
we're not
that's what I'm
go-
saying.
hey,
But he's a
hey,
great
no,
goal
no, no.
scorer, right? A great goal scorer.
No,
He put
are
the
the
ball in the net.
attributes we are talking about, Mannings, man.
Exactly. That's what I'm
Are
saying.
the
I say,
attributes?
but
Are the
Nicholson,
attributes?
he
But the
can
most
score
important
goals.
attribute as a foul is to score goals.
No,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
hold
but
on,
management,
hold on.
Yes, of course.
No
management.
It is.
management, no
What
management,
is
no,
it?
no man.
Cranky, hold on. What is the most important attribute of a
Yeah,
centre
yeah,
forward?
management.
It
You
must
know
be
what they say
scoring.
about Ronaldo now? They say Ronaldo is a luxury for Man United. He don't score a lot of goals. You know why?
Exactly, because he does
Because it's a
nothing else.
the game has changed, management. It's a team sport. Everybody has to defend, and everybody has to be able to attack. And if you only play one dimensional, if you only score in the goal alone, there's somebody has to defend for you. And in a
Yeah,
game where the talent is close, you can't afford a weak link.
can't afford it, no matter where it is.
Yep.
Benzema wasn't scoring a lot of goals for Real Madrid, but I'm a Real Madrid fan. Look, El Madrid, Reggae Boy. So
I
Benzema,
thought you were a Barcelona fan.
brother,
You said Real Madrid. It's a Real
El
Madrid.
Madrid.
Unbelievable.
You see
No,
my
no, man.
name?
I'm talking
What?
about when you
El
were.
Madrid, El
Yes,
Madrid, El
people.
Madrid.
Listen,
Really?
I'm good. I need to come on coach's desk because I'm very sure that we are talking about Messi and Barcelona. I'm saying that how
Brother,
the man.
brother, stop it.
All right, go ahead, go ahead.
I'm not the
Go ahead.
typical biased Jamaican who can see through the cobwebs and be me a fanatic fan.
Okay,
I'm a
all right,
football lover. You
all
get
right.
me?
That's
So
okay.
you
Ronaldinho
change
is
team. So you go,
no,
you're
no,
back at
no,
this, you're
no,
back at this.
no,
You're back
nothing
at
like
this.
that. Nothing like that. Not even close. I started.
Good.
Look how it went quickly. Real Madrid. The first team I watched was Corinthians. That time, Mascherano and Tevez was playing in Brazilian league, and Tevez was the captain. I think he was 19. The next week, I watched Real Madrid versus Barcelona. Just started about 9-10, and I saw Ronaldinho, and I realized, hey, this was the guy that was on the radio with Rosto, and they're talking about he can't score. So I didn't watch football up until I didn't watch international football like World Cup and everything there up until about 2006 World Cup. So, but I was watching La Liga before that and Brazilian league. So Barcelona fam could
Yeah.
never
All
be
right.
my team.
All right.
Barcelona could never be my team
All right.
ever.
Let me just do a couple of things. One general is asking, what about the reggae girls? You know that last week.
Day one,
Well, so here's what one general. We'd love to talk about them, but because I'm doing this now, I'm not watching the game. So Jason, Fresh God, Claudia, all the mods, if you can peso, if you can find out what's the score in the reggae girls game and just punch it in it so we
Nila,
can. It's
So
nil all game.
Manny's man, I have
Yeah.
a question for you. Don't the regular girls have a lot of
Nila,
overseas girls on their team?
and a Costa
Yeah.
Rican play.
Wait. Do they have
Hold
a lot
on.
of overseas
Yeah,
girls on the team?
it's
Hold on. I think because he's freezing up. Let me
Yeah,
just
he's
go ahead, Cranky.
Does the regular girls have quite a bit of overseas players on their team?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But most of the I don't think there's one player in this present team that plays in Jamaica any at all. That's one thing. And so most of the times the players that they have are let me say it this way, right? I don't know, maybe I am wrong. And you can tell me what you think. I get the feeling like if you're born in America, you're viewed differently than when you're born in England. I could be wrong. I kind of feel like a lot of the girls, because they're coming from America originally, there was no problem.
Yeah. There's
That's what-
a proximity issue, right?
I feel like it's it's more to on the male side one, and it has to do with to a person in England per se. Like I think if somebody were coming from the Netherlands, for some reason I don't think it would be a problem.
It's probably less of a problem actually. I think the
It
US is a
would,
little bit
okay.
different thing with Jamaica because it's so close, and it's like next door is like another parish, frankly.
Yes, I think
it's
that
not the
is it.
same, and you don't have as much players
Coming out
who
there,
have
yeah,
reached
yeah.
that level who come from the US, so it's like a novelty. versus the UK, you have an abundance of
Yeah.
players who are
And
there.
I think the truth is
across the
also
play.
is that is if a person is coming from America, I think the local players think like, oh, they can't be better than me. When the
That
person
too.
coming from
Yes,
England, I
yes,
think
that's
they see
true.
like, oh,
That's probably true.
you're going for a better player than me. And
Yeah.
I think that is probably why it affects the players so much. But also Ian Campbell, yeah, I think I was told that Ethan Pinnock got injured and he was substituted at halftime. We don't know how serious the injury is. The Jamaica game. Thank you, Jason. The game is 0-0, but there's a Costa Rica down to 10 players. So
That's what I'm
they're
trying to
trying.
tell you guys, man.
Oh no, man, you were freezing up, so we couldn't hear you. Sorry about that. Yeah. But let me just answer one more question, and then I'll shoot the next question to both of you. Tajay keep on asking me why is Lamar Walker not in the squad, and this is because I did a stream on Ryan LFC. Big up all the other vloggers who are in the chat. I know some of you are here, you're not talking. Sports down the middle, Coach Minzy at the coach's desk. You can I know that Sports down the middle has an interview with Rudolph Speed that is premiering today. Coach Minzy is going to, I don't know, he chose the wrong weekend to start his EPL show.
What do you mean the wrong weekend? It's a good weekend.
Because
It's always a
Well,
good
no,
weekend.
for
I don't
him,
know.
for him,
Maybe
for
he's
him.
going to ask you to host it.
No, it's like I'm big on the EPL. I do an EPL show with my friends from the UK. So
Yeah, I need to join. I need to join when Arsenal play again in a cracky.
yeah, we do watch along. I just can't do it during the week because it's during my work day. But if it's on weekend, we do watch
Yeah.
along. It's great actually.
Yeah. So he keep he keep asking why isn't Lamar Walker. So when I selected that team, I said to myself, they had 19 players for the game, and Walker was in the USL, and they didn't call him. It's highly unlikely that now they're going to have all the players that they're going to call Lamar Walker.
But
So
man
it's
is
not-
man. I mean,
yeah.
it's a lot of players. I feel for Whitmore because he has 60 and the number is growing. He's not getting less. Right? He have 60.
And see, Mr. Porter just said that he have a whole
whole bunch of Pitney who are going to
Go
play.
ahead, Cracky.
It make it even. No, but I'm saying is that Whitmore is in a tough spot, right? Because we just, as fans, we just want to win. We don't care. For me personally, I don't care where you come from. So you're a Jamaican citizen, come from Timbuktu, and you can play, and you're better than the players, and you can have me compete and get me to the World Cup. And we do not only get to the World Cup, we do well in the World Cup. Then you can play because you're a Jamaican citizen. For some people, they have an affiliation with players, and it's difficult for them to see the players, and they rate the players because they see them play. But always remember this: what level are you playing at? What's the competition you're playing against? Because I may be wonderful playing for Harborview in the JPL, but can I go compete in the Premier League? Can I go compete in La Liga? Can I compete in League One? I may not be able to compete. So I'm always telling people to be very careful when you see this player is playing brilliantly in the USL, because when the levels step up, it's much more difficult to compete. Much more difficult.
Yeah. And here's the next point that Owen is making with the girl situation is that he said because the female league in Jamaica isn't developed. I heard persons complaining about the girls not having Jamaican
accents. Is that a bad or good thing not having Jamaican accent?
I think
a good thing?
I think it's a good thing that they don't have it. It might, I could be wrong, but they don't have it. But I'm saying, and this, there's no local football being played for girls though. So who could complain?
Is Jody Brown injured? Anybody know? I don't see her in the team.
No, she's because of college. She had I think she probably had college games this weekend.
Oh, because she had played good enough.
Yeah. So I mean, but there's a whole set of other girls available to play for Jamaica in the States right now. That are
man, a lot of them. I'm telling you, man. If the JFF did a good job of pursuing the girls, there's a bunch of them playing college football.
I'm telling you,
who are playing at a high level, playing at a good level. Bunch of them.
Yeah, I think we're going to have a greater pool. I don't want to say this, right? But I believe that it is more likely that our female team will qualify for multiple World Cups over our male team.
Yeah, because the females what we have available in the USA, they're on a level what world football close to, rather than male football where they're way ahead of female football, especially in this side of the world. So it's a whole different ball game. It's not. It's something.
Yeah.
And that's something you can't even compare it. You're not even supposed to
We're
entertain.
gonna be competing for the US for talent. That's what's gonna happen to us, man.
Yeah, that's it.
So we're gonna be competing with the US for the girl talent, which is something that we need to really get a hold of pretty quickly, and not be reactive, but be more proactive.
But you saw the two that, like the two young ladies that I interviewed, who are being, three of them so far I've interviewed, who have just gotten their Jamaican passport because they want to play for Jamaica. Though they are being recruited. And like I'm saying to the JFF, you need to make a move right now. It's not like they just want to come. They are being recruited by the United States. But because, and this is the thing I tell people, don't ever say people are not committed. Because these young, when you listen to them, they say, listen, their grandmother asked them to represent Jamaica. Or a grandfather, a grandmother, or great grand, somebody said to them, listen, you can play football, play for, and I realized even with some of the players in England, the male players, that's it. Sometimes it's the fulfilling the wish of a grandparent or a great grand who said,
and nothing is wrong with that, you know.
Yeah.
People can say it's sentimental and what. Let me tell you this. This is my mind. This is how I would speak off air. If I left Jamaica at age 14, 13 when I was getting the opportunity, and because I indiscipline, I didn't get to go to UK. But anyways, say I did, and I became 40, 30 something, and I get my youth. I go want my youth play for Jamaica. All God bust me. At Jamaica, I want my youth play for. I won't flood his mind with money. I will try my best to brainwash him to play for Jamaica. That's the truth, because that is why I went to England, not to play for England, but to create a better pathway for my offspring who I want to play football, God's willing. So, I don't see nothing wrong with people being encouraged to play for the land of their roots.
Yeah.
The thing, El Madrid, though, the thing is this, is that, so you want your kids to play for Jamaica, but yet there are barriers being put up, these artificial barriers, by those who are based locally, who are saying you have too much English-based players in your team, or they're not committed, or they don't have the same view of the country, or they're not passionate, while they're being encouraged by those who migrate because they're trying to look for a better life, right? They migrate, but they want the offspring to play for the country. It's challenging.
You're very intelligent, Cranky. It's not challenging, This is how I label it down, You are intelligent. I think I'm intelligent. But we don't like to labor our lament on the opposite of intelligence. Anybody who perceives things like that in what you just described that's happening, which is really happening, they are the opposite of what would be considered as intelligent. So why may I waste my time on that for fun?
I would use the word intelligent. I would say this is that people are sometimes very parochial and vertical. I mean, vertical in their thinking. So instead of thinking
but if you're parochial, you're an unintelligent person.
No. Parochial doesn't mean you're intelligent. It just means that you sort of you think
you think one way. Yeah. There's one way.
You only think one way. You're not. It's not that you're unintelligent. I don't want to call anyone stupid ever.
Yeah.
I didn't say that.
We all learn. No, I know, but you use euphemism. You coin it differently.
Very suggestive. Very suggestive. But Cracky, somebody is trying to take you, and I don't know if taking or just letting you know about Lamar Walker. Don't they, if you want to respond to that, and then I'll just take a few more comments that I think are very interesting.
Look, I mean, I don't know if I don't. I've seen Lamar play, but not enough to really talk about Lamar's ability. Right? He got very few minutes in the Gold Cup. So when I went to the Gold Cup, I expected to see him play. He got very few minutes. I think he was competing with McGee for that position, or other midfielders. He didn't get a chance to really demonstrate his skill set. And McGee didn't play all the games either. I think McGee only played the last game against Costa Rica. I thought he did well. So look, it's very, very hard because there's so many players. And if you're the coach, when everyone has their favorite, so if you have 60 players, I'm sure every player has.
Everybody's gonna have problem.
And then the question: how do I put 11 on the field where I can get a unanimity? Again, people are consensus that, you know what, this is the best team to put on the field. That will never happen.
Never.
So you're always gonna get cursed by someone about someone you left out. But the safer way to go is always to pick the best. As much as possible, the best players, as long as they can operate in a team environment, they match what you're trying to accomplish. And everyone talk about we don't have a style of play, we don't have a system. So the coach could justify his team if he could articulate his system or his style of play, but he doesn't do that. So that's if you say, you know what, I play Flemo instead of Bailey, for example, because Flemo plays defense, he runs back, he covers the gap, he can explain why, and people can say, yeah, Bailey doesn't do that. Like if Solskjaer say I play Tabani instead of Ronaldo, because Cavani runs all game.
And
He's always getting to the
presses.
box. They probably still
Yep,
say, you know what?
yep, yep. You have
But
to,
Ronaldo's
you have,
Ronaldo, so you don't play Ronaldo. But you can
you have to
justify
use
it.
Fred Cranky when you're talking about Manchester. You're gonna talk
I
about
know.
coach.
I know I'm going to Ronaldo road. I went the wrong road. Example. He's not Ronaldo is one dimensional today in his football. But even Fred, the commentator said today, not to digress in the Man U game, but Fred was running all over the place because he was trying to cover two people at a time, and Matanomy wasn't doing much, right?
Yeah.
But Fred is going to get the label
Exactly. He's going to be the one to get it.
He's an easy target. He's an easy target.
But people, Jody and Brown and Lacey and Murray, they have college commitments. As you saw in the comment section, so that is why they are not in the team.
Kaim Paris is injured.
Okay, he's injured. All right, I'm trying to reach out to him. Let's see how that is going to
Junior
work.
Fleming.
The Kubra.
Walker is better than Flemings in my book, but the thing is, why Flemings is in the team over Walker? It's just down to who Tapper feel more.
Listen to but answer the question though, because the question is, what's your opinion of Junior Fleming? Why is he so hated or disrespected? Do you agree?
No, so I want to talk about football first.
No, but here's the thing though. Let's football first, which is this. When you produce, no one knock you. You don't get. Here's the thing. When you produce, like a Roof came in, first game missed a couple of sitters, probably wasn't great second game. He scored. He worked really hard. He played well. He's converting the unconverted on his side, right? If you're Junior Flemings, you had a decent Gold Cup, half decent Gold Cup, but you're not really playing well, but you have this attitude that couples with you not producing, then people are not going to embrace you. Your attitude got to match your. If you have attitude and you're scoring goals crazy, you're working really hard, you're passing well, creating assists, people will overlook that attitude, right? They'll say, you know what? Yeah, he can afford to be that way because he's producing. But if you don't, then it exacerbates the situation because you're not producing, coupled with you're not playing well. That's a recipe for disaster. And Fleming, to me, has a major attitude, and it comes across in interviews and it comes across on the field. Plus, I don't think he has played well in the last couple of games that he's played. And the coach still playing much longer than I thought he should.
Yeah. Go ahead, El. What you have to say about that? Or you want me to take it El Madrid?
No, man. The parochial thing in the comments. Yes,
no, man. What? Do you have anything to say? Okay, I get that. All right. But with Fleming, let me tell you, I always tell people I like to give credit where credit is due, right? So let me give him, when he was in high school, he was a very, very good player. And I think he's one of those players that the development system in Jamaica was not sufficiently, let me say, the system should the system should have done a whole lot better than it did with a player like Junior Fleming, given his track record in high school. All right, coming out of that, I think he went, I think, to the B team at New York Red Bulls, and he didn't break into the A team. All right, that's one thing. The second thing, I think, is that whole incident a few seasons ago kind of affected him. He was doing well, and he had some issues with which is speaking to an attitude problem.
Yeah.
All right. And I think what I would advise Junior Fleming to do is that one thing people will love is, even if you're a poor talent, they will love a good attitude. And that is what you control. The one of the main things you control is your attitude. And if you can, and I'm not talking about attitude in terms of talking, but just your general demeanor. There's something about him that says to people who, hey, don't talk to me, kind of an attitude. That's the kind of demeanor persona that he brings across. And so I think sometimes it is that gives him a bad, like, gives people a bad feel about him. So when he plays bad, it further exasperates the whole situation. So my thing to him is,
I need to give my take on him to you.
Wait, let me just say this before you talk. I'm going to leave soon.
Yeah,
which is this. Sometimes the hardest thing to fix is your attitude.
Yeah, man.
But you know why? Because you're not aware, you're not cognizant of how you come across. And those around you are not providing you with that guidance or being transparent with you about how you come across. So you think you're fine, And you say, no, I'm not changing for anyone because you're comfortable in your own skin and you don't realize how you resonate, how you come across. And people don't want to be around people who don't make them feel good about themselves or who come across in a negative fashion. They just don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Go ahead now.
So
All right. People and Crank will have to leave. He has to prepare all his notes to try and, protect the integrity of the coach's desk because
No, I'm getting grief here because I wasn't supposed to come on a program. I was
All right.
told I was going to come up for 10 minutes and I've been here for
All right. All right. Hey, Crank, you run,
I have
right?
to run.
Yeah,
I have
man.
to
Yeah,
run.
man. All right.
Thanks,
big up
Let's
the general.
Nice
yeah,
meeting you in
man.
Madrid. Nice meeting
Big
Yeah,
you.
up the
man.
Flemings, man.
All
All
right.
right, cool.
Yeah, man. So Flemings, are the same thing them really, but I feel like people also have to just understand that on everybody, footballers are people. They have personalities, and footballers don't necessarily have to have a nice personality. They
Yeah.
don't necessarily have to want anybody to talk to them. So it's just people being extra sensitive because the person is not performing. No, you know what I mean. So it's people doing this. Meanwhile, his colleagues might like him and say he's a vibes person or he's a slick person, whatever, whatever. He's a cool person. I personally think that what he needs to improve is his temperament. Yes, his attitude to make him more professional. But then I'm not expecting him to change who he is. That I think that's what people want to see players do some of the time when they say their attitude, all right. They want to see them become someone else. But that's never going to happen because he's what 25 now. He's not going to
Yeah.
make a grand change in his life now. So he's that like that. You remember Anelka? Not comparing these
Yeah.
players kill, but sometimes Anelka wasn't performing like how his Sulk was performing. And you have to just
Yeah.
understand that is Anelka.
Yeah.
Anelka that you're not gonna
Yeah.
expect.
There you go. So for the person who
Yeah.
asked the question, honestly, I think and Dirty Harry, I do agree that he had a fairly good game. And that's what you have to do. Just and like Cranky was saying, sometimes you don't even realize that your attitude throws off people. And I know, like, people will say things to me sometimes, El Madrid, and I say, really? But I didn't realize that
Mm-hmm.
how I may
Answered,
chuckle,
sounded.
like somebody is making a very important point to you, something that concerns them, and you kind of chuckle because you're uninterested in it. But you don't realize how offensive that kind of attitude it is.
Yeah.
And sometimes people have to identify that. I think if he can change his attitude and be more, uh, you know, yeah, but I wouldn't say like he's somebody at JC that I said this guy, if he had the right people around him, he would have done well, and he needed that. So I'm not going to beat him. I'm not
No,
going
sir.
to
Good
tear him
baller.
down. But all I'm saying is that, listen, just work on that. Probably come on one of the platforms and interact with the people. Interact
What?
with the people.
What?
Like, just have a nice casual conversation with them.
Yeah.
Because I think that's one of the things. The footballers have become so hostile to the
Uptight.
media because the media have been so critical of them. Like,
Yes, yes.
if you ever want to impress the media, don't ever run away from them.
Yeah. I want
Come
to
on,
clear up something. I
go
said
ahead.
something like I said Walker better than him. What I mean by that is Walker have a higher ceiling in my opinion. Because not because he just happens to have a higher ceiling. It's just the time when he was born. You know what I mean? The opportunities that would be more forthcoming to him in terms of tools and equipment or whatever to develop his game. You get me? I know early is included in the national setup, and so his roof, his ceiling, his development is supposed to be
Yeah.
um better than Fleming's, who was failed by the system.
Yeah,
You
and
see
then
me?
not only that too. Listen, when people, you can't compare like a Slatan's attitude with a Fleming attitude. When you have a certain kind of career, you're allowed to have attitude.
No, man, you
Yeah,
can't do that. You're not gonna get away with that because I've been a follow Zlatan from a long time. That it was his
yeah,
attitude before before the world know him. That was his attitude from Ajax. Check up Ajax Mido and Zlatan fight. Check up that.
yeah,
When Mido what did play for Middlesbrough, you
yeah,
remember that
man. Middle,
Mido?
yeah, 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 yeah,
He and Zlatan was in a big fight because Mido had left from Club Bruges in Belgium to go to Ajax for must about 15 million, which was a lot back then for a player from the Belgian league. And they became good friends, but it became sour because Mido was scoring all the goals and Zlatan was not scoring. His attitude was stink, just the way it is today. See, you can't go use that point there. I feel that. Use
Oh,
Anelka.
no man, no man. Somebody was saying that I was bigging up. Right. Big up Pine Action in the building. Yeah man. Reggae up and thing. Yeah. People, how the reggae girls game going? Right. Jason. Welcome to the mods them and Claudia. I mean, welcome to the mods them. Rob Simit. Rob Simit here. Listen, what he has done, people don't like him so much. Like, give me an example. I feel like narratives get built on
True.
players on YouTube.
Not
Listen,
YouTube.
all
Not
right,
YouTube. Not YouTube.
all right. Let me say this. The truth is that, all right. So as the host of the programs, I think some of us have to be more mindful of what we allow. I and what we there's a twofold thing, and this includes me, right? That we should not allow the platforms that we have established to get to a point where it gets personally disrespectful to people,
For
all
real.
of us, including me,
For real.
right? What we have to do though is to be fair and honest to the players, which is to criticize their play. What I will say to the players though is that if you want to change some of the narrative, then communicate with some of the people. Don't don't not talk to them and feel like they're going to change their thoughts towards you. So, with that being said, I think, uh, and I'm not saying that is me, but Rob Smith, I think if a Junior Fleming could say, you know what, a lot of these people have a perception about me that is not so. That is why I want to talk to Walter Boyd. That is why I want to hear the story, the Anna and the Lows. You know why? Because people have a perception about them without hearing their sides of the story, right? What if, because some people say he pushed off Gray in the Gold Cup. What if he came on and said that was something that Gray and I had in mind? You can never tell. Maybe he actually did, and he may have been frustrated or whatever, and it is wrong. And if he comes on, not like, I'm not saying on my platform, but just I think sometimes you have in in your image, to protect your image, you need to have people around you that kind of market you very well. So I think some of these players need to talk to some of the people who have been most critical about them. Let them see. You understand? Let them see that other side. Like
Hear me.
let me tell you this. Anytime I entertainer, one of the American, and this is the same problem in entertainment in Jamaica. Anytime an American entertainer has some bad rap, they send out the PR team. So
I
don't
understand
criticize
you
the
mean.
player's personal life, but the players need to come on and talk to us about the football. Like I want to hear a player say, "Listen, yeah, man, I am okay with the people cussing me because I didn't, yeah,
Deliver,
I didn't
whatever.
deliver, right?" I remember people used to give Kemar Taxi Lawrence a hard time a couple seasons ago,
Yeah.
and he was going through many family issues.
Yeah, cause you need to know that for
You
sure.
ne-
Even
But if
even
you know
Alice.
that people are no sorry there, but people are really, really the Jamaican people. I mean, we have a problem, but we're not that bad enough. When we know that a man have some genuine challenges, you know what we do? We show respect to them. We say, boy, well, now I understand and change. And but I do agree though. I do agree that there are persons who will who will say what I call dirty things about the players.
For no reason.
Unnecessarily. That there are certain areas that we should not get into.
I just to me, I just you have it all over the world, and it's not any more in Jamaica than it is in England, because players have been reduced to tears countless times, and you have countless charity,
Yeah.
and you have people now getting arrested and fined for saying bad things on Twitter, getting the Twitter accounts removed. So I'm not trying to lessen it, put a damper on it. It's just people overall, you know what I mean? It's just people. It's really people. This is how people are. maybe you don't have it so much in USA because they're not such they don't have a big football culture. Even though football is becoming way more popular there now and it is thriving there, they still don't have understanding and spirit of the game. The fans I'm talking about. They are trying to put on um support and they're putting a whole lot of backing into it, but certain little things the players don't get disrespected. They get called out and they say that they want results, but they're not getting disrespected. Like how a man would get disrespected in the NFL or basketball because they have a real spirited culture vibe towards those sports. You get what I'm saying? So you
Yeah.
might not see that in USA for until about 5, 10 years from now. But it's all over the world.
All right. So I know the person asking about Alan Skill Cole. Listen, like I'm telling you, as many of the legends, don't worry yourself. During the week, every day during the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we're gonna have one. It's a lot of them, So just give us time to work them through. Right. And I know I did. I'm not listen. All right. So Rhyme Sterling is a good example of this, right? Rhyme Sterling has gone through a lot. You remember when he had a tattoo and and all that was said about him? A
Mm-hmm.
PR team just took that for Raheem Sterling and covered it, and he came
And
out.
spin it.
He and spin it. He came out, explained the whole situation about his father and what happened and what it signified. All right. All I'm saying is that I'm not talking about, hey, how was your game today? Very good game, really like the game. No, no, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like having a sit down. But I find that the players have shun away from a lot of the platforms. Something recently happened, and in cricket, I don't want to deviate from the point where Courtney Ambrose that said something that I don't think there was a lot of bad in it. But here's what happened. Somebody told Chris Gayle, because Chris Gayle didn't listen to it. And Chris Gayle responded based on what he heard. I think sometimes, sadly, some of the players, because there are people who so discard, A person could come and listen to this program right now. And I'm going to give you a good example of what happened. Somebody made a post on some social media platform saying something that Paul Tiga David said, that Hector Wright said about scoring against Mexico, that he did not. So sometimes a person and people start sending him on a lie, right telling lie when
Yeah.
he never even said that. You understand me? He never said that. So
Yeah.
sometimes the players will hear a man call them and say, hey, say, the man them over here, so I say, you're not good. They don't listen to the whole thing. They just believe that that person automatically have a
Yeah.
problem with them and stuff. I would say to the players, call the people, and find out and say, listen, I heard this. Because you understand me, have a conversation. That is how we're going to resolve. We're going to resolve issue because long as you're in sport, people going to speak. But people beat. You remember how Oral Tracy beat Bolt bad until Oral Tracy and Bolt had to go on radio and TV and apologize to each other?
Mm.
People are going to criticize you, but it's how you handle it.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah,
really
man.
think, man.
So
I really think.
Light O'Connor, we're going to do that.
I really think.
Yeah. So listen, and every fans have a right to criticize players based on their performance. That's just how
But
it goes.
fans also have a. Let me tell you what I realized though. I I I I like to use myself as an example in certain situations. You see me? Like I think of myself as a different type of fan, and I think everybody expensive fan. Joke me, I'm still, but yeah, like like you have to have a real love for the game and a love for the players. I think most fans they only want to win, or they only want to see their players doing well, or they don't think about the game. They don't think about everything. For instance, so your team might need to lose today for something good to happen for another team. And it's not that you're going to celebrate Barcelona winning against Real Madrid as a Real Madrid fan because you wanted to lose points. You want your president to get fired. You want the coach to get fired. You get what I'm saying? So some people don't know how to reason the football on that level. Like I might go say to a man, I want Real Madrid to lose today, no come on, my president get fired. A man go jump up because he educate himself and say, you're a bandwagonist. Or if you want your team lose. They don't understand. So I just use that example to show you that sometimes the people who are criticizing players is just the same. They don't understand what they are saying about the players even. They just know that they hear a next man say, them boy they not good. Or the man should have passed the ball
Yeah.
faster and then start follow. They don't know what they're saying. So they need to go and educate themselves on football because there are guides out there, guides like GUIDES on how to watch football properly. There are literally guides out there, 1, 2, 3 basic guides on how to watch football properly. Then you can criticize the players
Yeah.
properly.
Yeah. So Gunner's boss, this is Pine Action saying, how you criticize someone playing without in criticizing he or she personally? If you
Because
say anything,
football is
hold on. No.
football.
So he's saying anything you say about me that is negative is personal.
No, fam.
That don't make no sense, brother.
You are not
This is-
football.
if
You
a
are
man
not
said, listen,
football.
if a man said your passing was poor today, that is personal. Come on, man. No, we're not going to have that
What-
discussion there.
Let me do it.
You answer.
He's
Yeah.
right. He's right. So let me show him. He's right. It is personal. It is on an individual level where that player would need to work on their passing attributes. It's nothing in the tone of personal like how Jamaicans love to use it. Yo, that personally I pick for me. Yes, we're picking on the individual aspect of that player to improve on. So we have
We
to
said
point it out.
personal life. In other words, we are talking about your performance, not your personal
No.
life.
Yeah, what
Because
he
your
said was,
Yeah.
what he said was, he dropped off the personal life at the end. He said what he's trying to say that there's no way a player should not take criticism personal because it is about him. So he's saying that his personal life is don't mix up his personal life with private and things. You must say a him, a film life, football included in a film life too. So I must that he mean. So anything we critique him about in a personal life include football and whatever. A calm private life he mean for say. So me I got assume say he mean what it go be personal. It go be personal.
I don't agree, and then the next thing, no, you never listen to this one. I said that Chris Gale heard from someone what Courtney Ambrose said, and instead of listening to the thing himself, he went and responded. So you and I are saying the same thing.
Gunners boss.
Hey, Gunners boss, if you listen,
That man's man say Gunners boss. Chris Gale should go and listen first because it appears that Chris Gale heard from someone and got the wrong impression. So yeah, man. So I don't know problem.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
But
so
still, I
people
think you make a little mistake with the personal life thing and the personal. If it is your personal life to play football, I can critique your personal life. So you are an individual with attributes that you need to uplift, and I will critique that.
Yeah. So people, we had a person coming on, but they wanted to end. They were at the same place that we're talking about with Cranky. So they sent me a text message said that they're going to set it up because they're going to be in next week lineup as well. But the name was mentioned here today, so they are going to be one of the persons. And I can confirm one more who is Den Hutchinson, and we have 3 more in the week who are coming up. But we're not going to call all the names we want to surprise you. So Claudia, don't worry, we have some good names coming up. Listen, it is 6 minutes before we hit the 3-hour mark.
Yeah, where him come from? Sorry.
Yeah, he wasn't listening, man. Yeah,
I apologize.
Not a problem. Not a problem, Piney. Yeah, man, that is Piney.
Always Alan Skill Cole can play guitar too.
Yeah, man, he was a musician. Remember, he used to power with Bob Marley and all of those guys, man. I can play guitar too,
I don't believe you.
You don't believe me?
No, man.
I wonder if should I get my guitar. People, should I get my
guitar?
Birds. You want me to get my guitar?
Yes. Yes, play
You
Three
sure?
Birds.
No, man. We can't. People, hit the like button. If you have not yet, subscribe to the video. But not only that, if you want me to play my guitar, just put a thumbs up in the video. And if me get 5 thumbs up, me go fit and show this, man.
You have a cello?
No, me have bass guitar, me have electric guitar, and me have acoustic guitar.
Can't mess around the cello, but I can't really play it good still. Like a
You
cello.
understand? So let me tell you a couple of things that you need to do, right? Mhm. Jarvis said, do it, Bunnings, man. All right, that's one. You need to check out Coach Minzy. He's going to start his EPL show this evening, and he's a Manchester United fan. So that should be very, 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 very important. That's one.
Alright.
The second thing is check out military um
Guna.
Guna. Also sports down the middle. They have an interview that they did with Rudolph Speed that they're gonna have up. All right. Ryan LFC, the Liverpool man, check him out. You have the Formula Sport, check him out. And Unseen Sport did a debate on the radio and he won. Who again?
El Madrid Reggae Boy. El Madrid Reggae Boy.
El Madrid Reggae Boy have a channel as well. Coach Jerry Miller,
Amazing.
football analyst. Check out the channels, people. Show them some love. Yeah, man, we're going to get some Arnett Garden. We're going to get some junglists, man. Baron Earl, Eugene Williams. Don't worry yourself. No, but more go feel like the Prince of Rain, Adonis Maxwell, Cottrell King. Them legendary Arnett Garden players. So, people, him say I need to get the guitar. Hold on, let me see if we can get it and come up.
Fully bad.
Go on. So you have to keep the people them engaged.
Yeah, man. I want to make a point still. People, I saw the other day that Jamaica, well, I don't know if it's Tapper or whoever. Tapper selected Peter Lee Vassell, right? And for the life of me, we have seen Lamar Walker being left out of the national team. And we have seen Kevin Lambert being left out of the national team. Peter Lee Vassell had not done anything whatsoever to warrant being selected. What say you guys? Don't you think now it's time to see Kevin Lambert in the team for good, or Walker to be back into the team again? What say you? Anybody have that? Because I don't know what happened with the Vassell. How can you snub Lambert while Vassell is being selected? But yeah. Yes, no. Guitar.
People, guess what? A long time we don't play the guitar, so one of the string them breaks. It now will sound proper, but we can't play it. We can't play the cards.
Brush your one string.
We can't play nothing. We can't play nothing, man. The string them break, man, and then not tune up. You understand? Yeah. But next time I'm going to start the guitar. You understand?
Nice. This is interesting.
Yeah, so
I will be there.
Yeah.
You should have started the video and said, man going to play Three Little Birds.
You know what? I'm going to do that for my next video. I'm going to start it with it. But we play instrument, man. We have a lot of singing it. But fully people, I really want to encourage you to.
Hold on, somebody answer my question. Peter Lee Vassell has not developed as quickly as he should. Yeah, I don't think he should have been in the team when he was Kevin Lambert's spot that he take. Had no reason.
Yeah, Ian Campbell beat body, he beat hard enough.
He said none of them not good enough. he said Walker, Vassell, or Lambert not good enough. All right,
listen, but Robert Smith was saying something earlier that I want to close out the show with, right? Which is, listen, at this point, these are the players, right? So let us encourage them.
Yeah, man, fully bad.
Because
Vassell same way still no, because Vassell mobile man, me just go off for the facts. The players them who in the team they need to be on form, they need to be performing to be included. And if you are not performing and included, you have to come and play well. And if you don't come and play well while you're off form, you're gonna be criticized.
The Cobra, so you have Coach Minzy is the coach's desk, you have Ryan LFC, you have Reggae Boyz commentary, you have Unseen Sport, you have Military Guna, you have the Formula Sport, you have
I Max it, you have El Madrid, Reggae Boy,
you have Jerry Miller, football
Teddy Lee,
you have Teddy Lee, the
General Teddy Lee, great.
Yeah, Teddy Lee always giving information on the English players primarily and team selection. So those are many, but sports friends. Jesus.
You have Guna. People, you have Military Guna.
Yeah, man, I call him out. Listen, people, I can't forget these youths. Like real good youth coming
sports
up in the
frenzy.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
man, Sports
subscribe.
Frenzy. Please,
Subscribe to everybody else. I'm gonna subscribe to them.
please, I'm asking you right now. We're gonna end this right now. We're gonna big up our sponsors and end this right now. And here's what I want you to do. I want 20 of you to just go over. Everyone say carry so fast. Fresh God and Jason, put in some of the thing there so that their Cobra can find them.
Yeah,
Right?
man. Everybody go
Talawa
over.
TV. But I want 28 to go right over Sports Frenzy and show them some love so that you're watching I Am Sure stream and you want to come over and support them. So we're gonna have some of the moderators type in some of the names for you. They are Cobra. And thanks for the love and support. Because we believe that if we do it together, we do it better. You understand me?
Yes,
We want to grow together.
yes,
We don't want one person grow, we want all of us grow. So the Cobra, look at Fresh God, right? Look at Fresh God. Yeah. And Gunners Boss FM podcast coming soon. You know, Jesus said that he's coming soon and he don't return yet, you know. So maybe that is how Gunners Boss podcast gonna be.
Yeah, Gunners Boss say it's one that you can be yourselves. Cause be a bad word and tell people say, oh, hey, a bad man please. Hey, a joke.
Yeah, man. But people bless up. Again, I want to thank all of you. I'm very sorry that none of our guests were able to come on, but tomorrow we're gonna have one more legend. Tuesday we have one, Wednesday we have one, Thursday we have one, and Friday we have one. In fact, we're gonna have a doctor who is going to very respectable doctor in Jamaica who is going to come on and kind of give us some ways. Hope the JFF will be listening to that podcast. Ways that we can have fans in the stadium, right? Yeah, you have Owen Sports Talk. Never hear about that yet, but Owen say I saw it go. I saw it go. But thanks to all of you for spending portion of your Sunday evening.
So instead of I say people, Owen go say.
Yeah, Owen said that, but so thanks for spending. Yeah.
I say instead of Owen, I say Owen. Instead of Teddy Lee, I say Teddy Lee. Yeah. Instead of Teddy Lee, I say people. Owen go say Owen. Yeah, or something like that.
Yeah.
Take long enough.
Man. Oh, gee, yeah. All right, so.
Yeah, man, bro, but I out my gun still.
Yeah, man. All right, then, cool. Big up to El Madrid, big entertainer. So when he's in the chat, that's not the name he used, but he's a big entertainer, right? So I'm going to check the IG, right? So we have some players coming on. Yeah, man, I'm going to be over the coaches desk later to show some love and some support over there, right? So tomorrow, like I said, we have a legend coming in that we're going to discuss with Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We also have a doctor who is going to come in and speak to us about how the JFF can get fans involved in the national at the national stadium, what plans they can put in place, right? So we're going to yeah, right? Yeah, man, this week, right? Yeah, man, big up El Madrid Reggae Boy, right? So we're going to discuss that. We're going to talk some more local football as well. You know, we have the NFL show with Chris Lynch, G-Star, and Countryman. Yeah, man. So you look out for that also. And that comes up on Wednesday. We're normally on air 11 a.m. Jamaican time. 11 a.m. Jamaican time, right? So I want to thank all the moderators, Jason, Claudia, Fresh God, Ishmael King. They keep the comment section. Listen, I really am grateful for the stuff in the comment. The comment section was really good today. Love it was kept positive for the most part. Open and honest discussion. And this is how we want the narrative to be, right? So yeah, man. So that's it again. Thank you. We didn't see Shatter today. Big up Jairus. Big up everyone who helped to make this happen. We appreciate you. If you have not yet subscribed before you leave the feed, please subscribe to the channel. We want to get to 2,000 subscribed by the end of the year. We're getting new cameras, new microphones. We're getting mixing board to set up the calling thing, right? We're investing in this so we can produce high quality show. All right, so bless up one and all. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Thanks for those who express condolences to my family. Lost a loved one today in a road accident. Young person just graduated from Monroe High School, you know. But Father God knows what is best. All right, so, you know, people, please be safe, right? Please be safe. If you're walking, walk safe. If you're driving, drive safe. Until we meet again, blessings and peace to you all. Before we leave, here's a word from our sponsors, Tricknick.
Tricknick Jerk Marinade gives your meats and vegetables authentic Jamaican jerk flavor. The spices are directly from Jamaica. Spices like jerk seasoning, allspice, scotch bonnet pepper, fresh scallions, thyme, ginger, and garlic. The key ingredients to a great jerk marinade. 0% sugar and low in sodium. You want to try it?
Jamaican herbs and spices add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Tricknick Jerk Barbecue Sauce.
I am sure sports. You know me there, I'm coast to coast representing. I mean, say this is righteous representing for Omar. You don't know, come get your sports over here from near and far. Boy. Me say I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. If me not sure, that me not say it. Know who score, that me not say it. Never know no game play, that me not say it. If me never seen a game, me not know who play. For your sports news, better come over here so. For your soccer news, then come over here so. If you don't love sports, still come over here so. For the day done, you are gonna love over here so.
So when it comes on to behavior concerning football, Jamaica is decent. I am sure that if we can get all of these things done, set in place by the end of April, it gives us enough time before the World Cup campaign. Not afraid of no Brazil, no Argentina with these crapper players. We are good enough. Remember to like, subscribe, share. Listen, comment. Let me know what your thoughts are.